Hello, I'm Dave, and we're back with another edition of Nerd Talk, the Capper Collective. Got my fellow nerds here. Nick will be here in a second. We'll have some people dropping in. Thanks for coming back. If this isn't your first time, you know the deal. If it is, we're just a bunch of guys doing an actual capping show. There's a lot of shows that will go over games and be structured and kind of treat it like an ESPN or like a around the horn type of deal. This isn't that. This is an open forum. There is some structure. We're going to start with NFL, but we talk about what we want, sports or otherwise, and we leave it open for people to discuss, and we bring in as many cappers as we can from different places. So we'll start with Moose. Moose is here. We all know Moose if you've been here. He's everywhere. He's on PSR doing a lot of things there. And I only have one of these. So it's going to happen now. I only made one, but since we're talking about you. That's the moose call. And it's not a cow, by the way. It might be a cow moose. I don't know.
It sounds a lot like a cow. It sounds a lot like you're taking a shot at my fat ass. So I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Then we've got Sir Hammerpoop himself, Chris Duke, down there in the corner of Fade U Sports, joining us from the bar. He's hanging out, only be here for a little bit. How you doing, buddy?
Good, brother. Good to be back. Awesome week for the Cappers. Great to get together and pick some winners together, brother. Let's do it again.
We'll definitely be talking about that for sure. And then we got one half of Earl Sports Bets, Nick.
The best half.
Of course.
Oh, depends if you ask Terry or not. Or how you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
People in the chat, Dabby Cab. Of course, I saw the G word, and I know who he's talking about. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys. So we're gonna jump into NFL. I know that Chris has to go, but I will say I'm trying to pull up the record. We've been doing so well, it scares me. It's unsustainable what we're doing. We're going to regress back to the mean for sure. But we started keeping track. The third episode, we're on the 6th. So 3, 4, and 5. Episode 3, 4, and 5. We're 34-18. That's 65.39%, and we're up 15.5 units. That's essentially 3 days of capping, which is a ridiculous deal. But it doesn't shock me how well we've done. It shocks me how well we've done all at once, because I know that we've got, in my opinion, some of the best handicappers around. But we're going to try to keep doing it. I know we're putting a lot of stake in the NFL. It is NFL season. That's probably the number one, that in college football, I guess, are the number one bet sports.
Yep.
But we're definitely putting a lot of effort in NFL because 3 of us on here are in big tournaments in Vegas. So we're really, really, probably focusing more on that than any other sport. But we will talk about baseball today. We might preview college football. That's more for Friday. But I'm going to jump right into, why don't we talk about how Fade U did in Circa, and then go from there, and then we'll get your picks because you got to go.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I've got a little time. Got another 45 minutes or an hour. But, okay. Fade U did good. It was fun. We had four of our guys are in the tournament. We did end up doing the Superbook. 3 of us went 4-1, and then one went 2-3. So we're off. A few of us are off to a good start, and now we have to reevaluate and not overreact to what happened week 1. And a lot of us are kind of 2 people are like, "Ooh, I don't know if I like these lines this week," but it's like you don't have to love the lines. Just keep going, keep grinding, and we'll see if we can try to keep pace. Another 4-1 or 3-2 early. Just try to stay over 500, stay in the mix. So that's my mindset.
Yeah, they say I've heard that not to put a ton of stake. I mean, you want to come out the gate hot, but I've heard that going 2-3 or 1-4 isn't the end. I heard the kiss of death is good, getting skunked, but they do also have. I think Westgate has the booby bet too.
So does Circa.
They
have the booby prize.
But here's the deal: if you're doing the booby bet, if you're really trying to win that that's capping too. Because you know how hard it is to be the worst at something. I mean, it's hard to be the best. It's just as hard.
It's just as difficult to win the thing than to win the booby prize.
Yeah,
it's
really
more people went 5-0 than 0-5. It's harder to go over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. and that's when people come. That's why it's a spread sport. That's the way it's going to be. It evens it out. But why don't you talk about what Earl Sports Bets did? I know that you guys did Circa with me.
Yeah, we did Circa. It was not the week we were hoping for, but it could have been way worse. We started off with the Cardinals. We started off with the Patriots. And we started with the Saints, which went 0-3. But then we finished off the week 2-0 with the Giants and the Seahawks. So it ended up being better than kind of Tim and I were expecting after really not doing well in the beginning of the week, which is kind of crazy because it feels like almost every other play I had on the slate smashed other than like the beginning of the slate. Like all my sides, like I had Pittsburgh and I had Pittsburgh as well, and obviously we had the Giants as our Circa pick, but like I had other sides where I had the Commanders, which hit. We didn't have them as a Circa. I feel like there was a couple other teams that hit that we didn't have as a Circa. So overall, 2-3. We're not dead, but it's not the start Tim and I were hoping for.
Yeah. You guys, we all were betting the same. I mean, all of us had a lot of the same picks. I did have the Commanders. I had the Browns. I had the Pats like you guys did, which sucked it up. I had the Seahawks, which we all had. And what was my fifth one?
Texans.
The Texans. I chose that versus the Saints. And speaking of, perfect segue, because this guy helped me pick that. He was also on the Texans, and he's from Houston. LJ from Houston, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Dave?
Thanks for coming on the show. If you guys haven't seen LJ, I don't know where you're at. He's everywhere. He's on Pub Sports Radio. He comes in with me. He has his own channel going on, Brothers and Bets. I think he just up with Who Bangin'. I mean, he's everywhere. Glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be on.
And we might as well get this other Jamoke in here, the other half of ESP.
Yeah.
We'll put him. We'll put Nick on top. No pun intended. Okay.
Pause.
So I'm going to make you upset.
Pause.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't care.
Yeah, we were just kind of getting started. Let's address this before we get in NFL, just because it was a question.
Yeah, I was going to address that too.
I was going to say, I know.
I've already bet that game.
You guys do. I'm sure Moose has a play on it. Let's start with Moose. What do you like that?
I wouldn't do anything with the totals because it is a fast track. I know that Purdue typically will try to play more games closer to the under, but with Aiden O'Connell, you never know when that big play is going to happen. I would expect it to go under, but as soon as I capped it right on the number. I had it around 56, 55 because I think that's just kind of chalky, and it just felt like a chalky total when it's out there. You can make a case for the over. You can make a case for the under. Those are typically totals I don't like to bet. I like betting totals where I have a really good, clear indicator that I have something that I can rely on, whether it's returning defensive starters, tempo, pace of play, coaching style, whatever it might be. And none of that really applied here. But I do I am kind of one of the rare lone birds out on the limb, out on the tree, out on the leaf, out on the stem that is on Purdue.
Go ahead, Nick. What do you got?
I did bet the over in this game. Syracuse's offense has really clicked the first 2 weeks. Granted, they played Louisville and UConn, but they put up 48 last week and 31 the week before. And Purdue is not a team that's afraid to play towards the over. Both their games have gone over so far. They put up 31 in an absolute shootout against Penn State, which I can see something similar to that, 35-31 along those range. And then they put up 56 points last week. Granted, it was against the Sycamores of Indiana State. But this is still an offense that I think could put up some points. I don't really want anything to do with the side. I think that line's kind of correct. I had the game at a pick 'em. So, but I do like some points in this game. I think that at least one, if not both teams, will be in the 30s this game.
Yeah, I've got Syracuse as a side. They're 6-0 at home. Their last, or 5-2 at home, and 6-0 versus Purdue. I mean, I have to pull up the stats. This isn't the college football game, but that's one of my circled bets that I capped.
When was the last time Cuse played Purdue?
maybe that wasn't it, but there's about 3 or 4 trends that are all Syracuse. And
I'm not going to hit it. Cuse is one of my three favorite colleges, so that's fine.
Yeah, and Purdue's a one-trick pony, and Syracuse has kind of been pretty decent with their pass defense. So,
who's tested them?
No, it's true. That is a question mark, but we'll see. To me, this seems like a high-scoring game. To me, it does. Anyways, we'll get to that in the college football show, or maybe a little bit later. By the way, the Corbin deal isn't over if the Orioles would not have the bases loaded and only get 1 run. Or not. Actually, did they get a run with the bases?
They didn't get anything that inning.
No, they didn't.
Of course they didn't.
Oh.
They have the over. I have Baltimore run line on the over. It sucks.
It should be 42 Orioles right now. That's what it
100%.
should be. Anyways, we'll talk about that. And by the way, don't let me forget, I want to bet something on the Dodger game. I haven't got to it yet because I'm
Arizona.
pissed.
Oh, I think that line dropped a lot though. No bets, no Freeman, and no Turner tonight for the Dodgers. I'm already locked in on the Diamondbacks -1 at +169.
Yeah, we'll get Cavs bet in. We're gonna do the college show, but I'll put you in already. I know you like that game. I kind of agree, but I went over that last. You don't like that? You like Louisville better? Yeah, I'm not a Malik Cunningham fan. Anyways, let's get to NFL. I have 3 circled bets, 4 circled bets, 3 circa picks. So this is going to be really for me actually capping and picking a game with the boys here. I want to start with LJ because LJ. I know he's probably working on numbers still. But I know you got – let me do this. Let's talk about what you think about your Texans, and then we'll jump into stuff you're looking at for the weekend.
Well, I picked the 7. I figured they would cover. They almost outright won that game, but the tendencies are still there coming into the fourth quarter. They're the worst team in the fourth quarter in the past year in the NFL. So it showed giving up 200-some yards to the Colts just in that quarter. They didn't score. The Colts scored 17. So – the defense was gassed pretty much because they played almost 40 minutes. So that was my take on that game. The Colts could have played better. They made some mistakes. Defense played good as well. We got a little pass rush here and there, but when it comes down to the final, of the game, we're not the type of team that can overcome mistakes because we just don't have the personnel or the coaching mentality to get over that hump. So
it's true. You're a team that has to stay in a game. That's for sure. What do you like them? So here's the deal. I'm toying around with taking them again, even at Denver. I feel like if I take them and I win that bet, the Dutch will never invite me for any of his shows again. So I kind of, don't want to get on his bad side. But money's more important to me than friendship, right? I really don't see how the Broncos can be 10-point favorites. I have them at about a touchdown, 7 or 8 points. And I'm not impressed with anything that the Broncos did. Start with their coaching as the worst. Not impressed with Russ. Not impressed with their defense. Judy was okay. He was the shining light. Not impressed with their running game. Not impressed with them fumbling. Their red zone offense. Nothing. Yeah,
they were. The Broncos was 0-4 in the red zone. They made some.
That's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I just think, to be honest, man, I'm a conspirator. Russell's coming back to Seattle. I knew all the money was going to be on Denver. And that's why I took the +7 on Seattle. Because all the emotions, him coming back, the referees making, phantom calls, just a lot of factors factored into that. Seattle would be in this game. But I didn't think they will outright win. But I think Denver lost that game more than Seattle won that game.
Oh, yeah. Them fumbling at the 1 yard line twice doesn't help.
12 penalties, 106 yards.
I would say the big thing with Russell Wilson in that game, it was because it was the first game that he played in the NFL, not in a Seattle jersey, and it was in Seattle.
Yeah. And the crowd,
that was
delay a game.
If this happened mid-season, Broncos by 10.
Yeah.
But because it happened week 1, I think the emotions got to him, even though he's probably like, no, it didn't, whatever. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And you could tell because
they're still human.
And that coaching staff I loved it because I was on the Seattle Seahawks plus the points and the money line. So that was fantastic. But that was very dumb at the end of the game. You have a quarterback that you're paying $250 million, and you're telling me you don't trust him to make a play on 4th and 5 with a minute to go? I don't know. That just seems weird.
Chris, what do you think? This is a very poopy play. I mean, right up your alley.
Yeah, there's a lot of these double-digit favorites that look like shit. The Niners are double-digit faves. They look like shit. The Packers are double-digit faves. They look like shit. So a lot of these I'm like questioning, what should we do? I lean towards Denver because can Texans play any better than they did? And can Denver play any shittier than they did in the red zone? She could have scored at least 14, 21 more points. So lean Denver also, but I got to pick between these big faves.
Yeah, it just seems – I mean, it seems like the Broncos should be such a good team. I saw some really – there was very, very – I saw some problems that could be really bad problems. Now, Nathaniel Hackett, he was an offensive coordinator. Does he call the plays? Is he the play caller, or is the offensive coordinator the dude that's calling the plays? Do we know that?
I don't know.
I'm going to look into that more because if he's a decision maker on this team, boy, look out.
I don't get how Russ or someone does it. I mean, I'm looking a minute and a half with 3 timeouts at midfield. That is like you don't even want to give Russ that from his own 10-yard line. How do they let that whole clock go down and call a timeout? I mean, us on our couch are like, call a timeout now, not at the end. I just don't get how the fuck that happens.
I think there was 2 things that went into it, and one of them is the bad sign. Well, actually, they're both bad signs. One is Russ. The Seahawks front 7 were getting to Russ. They were really pressuring him, and I think there was he showed it. He didn't give him the stamp of approval. He said, "Russ, I don't trust you with the ball. I'm going to kick it." So I'm sure Russ is going to be pissed, and maybe that relationship might be hurt a little bit. But the other thing is, I think he was trying to be cute as a newer coach, like, "Oh, I'm going to be alternative and do it this way and win the game," when everyone thinks this might not be the right decision. And it had to have been, because what's the logic for kicking a 64-yard field goal when you have Russ Wilson, you have 5 yards to go, you've got timeouts left? I mean, call a play where you get 6 yards. You don't have that play in your playbook? I mean –
And Russell, I mean, you would think he would veto the coach and be like,
yeah,
no, we're not
like,
going for a 60-yarder.
Yeah.
Like, who knows, man?
64-yard field goal, not in Denver, at one of the loudest places to play in the NFL. I mean, what a dope. Moose, what do you have to say? You're often condescending.
Well, I'm going to agree with a lot of what you guys were saying here. I mean, first off, when you're talking about delayed game penalties, you know who would know about the type of crowd environment and how to prepare and make sure that you know all the cadences, all the different audibles. You know who should really be aware of that?
Russell Wilson.
Of course.
Fucking Russell Wilson, who played there for his entire fucking career. Like, maybe have a general sense of, all right, we got to get out to the we got to get out of the huddle early. We got to be able to read, make our quick reads, and give our audibles. Make sure we have the blitzes covered. Make sure that the gaps are set up the right way. There seemed to be none of that. Second point, Nathaniel Hackett does call the plays, according to the Denver Post on a article written in September 2nd, that it is Nathaniel Hackett. And if you are brought in as an offensive guy and you have a 4th and 5, you're basically brought in a home run hitter and told him to fucking bunt. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you're telling me that Nathaniel Hackett with Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, that you can't figure something out to get 5 yards and continue to move the ball down the field when you see Peyton Manning reacting in like on time in live, like just
Manning
like,
cast is so good.
Timeout, timeout, like the entire time. It's like, yo, like maybe you have to have some general awareness. And what I know that this could be an overreaction, and that is the number one theme you see coming out of Week 1 NFL is just overreactions everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really an overreaction to say Denver walked into Seattle super unprepared and just basically proved to everyone that it might not be the elite team that people thought it might be with that kind of offense and the defense they have coming back? Granted, they did shut out Seahawks in the second half, which was absolutely needed for my team total and gave me a good winning week in Week 1. But that doesn't excuse the inefficiencies that they had the first half. It doesn't excuse their horrible game management late. It doesn't excuse all the other bullshit that we haven't even touched on. And you're now saying that they have Texans coming in a get-right spot. Who's to say that they aren't going to play another close game here? I'm not going to bet it because I don't want to like feed into the overreaction too much because I could see them kind of figuring it out. But I'm not going to talk anybody off of betting the Texans here. I'm not going to talk anybody off of that. I'm not also going to talk anybody off of betting an under, which I think might even be a potentially better live bet here, that if you get a quick score, you just smash that under because you can get a better line like a 49 or a 48, and you now have a very good bet in your hands, specifically given what we saw in the second half last week.
Would we be surprised if the Texans won outright?
No. No,
Yes.
No, that's the thing. I mean, here's I'm just talking. I'm looking at preseason rankings. I mean, the Texans have one of the worst defenses. So do the Cardinals. The Seahawks are in the back like 7 of secondary and front 7. But I saw the problems I saw were problems where you could get beat by anyone. I mean, when your play calling's bad and you have bad red zone offense, which I think can translate anywhere. Maybe that does get better, but it looked really bad. When you have Russ, who's a veteran, who looked shaky, even though it was the first game, but yeah, it was in a place where he should be semi-comfortable or at least know the game plan, like Moose said. I'm worried about the Broncos. I've been saying it on different shows that you guys have been on. I am not as high on the Broncos as other people are. I wonder why in my index rankings that I use to average, why they're ranked so high. I think that's why I think I have the Broncos as an 8-point favorite. I think they're more like a 5 or a 6-point favorite, and getting 10 points is just too much. I'm going to come back to that game, but I think that might be one of my circle plays.
I really like the Texans this weekend. I know Nick is going to be on the opposite. Me and Nick butt heads on like every game this week. It sucks. It's going to be very difficult to find circa bets because we're on the team together. But I think Texans outright. Like I'm not high on this Denver team, and if they play the same way they did, who's to say they don't play? Who's to say they don't play the way that they're supposed to? Yeah. Like they're supposed to win this game, but what they're 10-point favorites instead of 9.5. It's a 3-point game. Yeah. Either way, I don't see this one going and being a blowout for the Broncos. So I don't know.
So does anyone have we're going to do official plays later. Does anyone have an official play on this yet, or is it still a question mark?
I'm going to be betting the Broncos, and they're part of my my trend that I'm following this week of teams that didn't cover week 1 versus teams that covered week 1, which last year on week 2, as I call overreaction week 2, if you follow this trend last year, 7-0 in week number 2, 69-33 all season long. So this trend hit around 66, 67%. That's going to have me landing on the Broncos. It's going to have me landing on the Rams. It's going to have me landing on the Packers. Some bigger favorites that look like absolute crap last week, and I'm totally okay with that because and the Niners are another team with that. This is the Broncos, yeah. But like when we look at the other game, like the Rams game, that's a big overreaction line. The Titans, that's another one. There's a big overreaction line. Both those lines moved 3 points. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on all these teams that follow that trend. Other than I think there's only like 2 I have circled that I'm not going to be betting part of that trend. I'm not interested in the Jets, and I'm not that interested at 2.5 with the Saints. Other than that, I'm probably going to be on board with most of these other ones because it also that trend grades out with some of my power rankings because I have the Broncos as 15.5 point favorites. Really? I have the Texans rated as number 31 on the power rankings I use. So this is a bad Texans team coming to Mile High, which is a tough place to play after playing an almost perfect game, it felt like, against the Colts other than the fourth quarter, against a Broncos team that couldn't have played any worse on Monday Night Football. They fumbled on the 1-yard line twice and didn't recover. That's not going to happen again. I mean, this is a Broncos team where I think that they're going to get their offense working a little bit here. And with some of these big favorites, with the Packers and with the Rams and with the Broncos and I'm forgetting Niners, I'm also going to look towards the opposing team's team total under, expecting complete blowouts in these games, like these bounce back spots, because these are all big home favorites I'm looking at. They're at home. I'm not laying that many points on the road, but these teams are at home looking to bounce back after a terrible week one, especially teams that didn't start their players in the preseason, which Rodgers didn't play in the preseason. Stafford didn't play in the preseason. Wilson did not play in the preseason. You saw that all across the league. Teams that did not play their starters in the preseason, it looked like their first game in week one.
They went 3-9. That was the record, 3-9.
Yeah, LJ, go ahead. I know Tim was talking about trends. I mean, you're the trend master. What do you see? You have anything to either co-sign or disagree with?
I co-sign everything of that. I'm taking the Broncos with the spread because the only thing that I see is they were 0 for 4 in the red zone. They can fix that. They were 12 of 106 in penalties. They can fix that. 2 turnovers. They can fix that. The Texans can't fix 5 for 15 on third down, I don't think. They can't fix 77 rushing yards. They can't fix 2.8 yards per rush. They can't run the ball. So all Denver has to do, stop the run. They have a great pass defense. Just make Davis Mills beat you. And I believe that they can have a recipe to beat them. So I'm definitely taking Denver with the points.
Yep.
Okay. We've got dissenting views. That's fine. Like I said, I don't have a play for sure. I'm definitely leaning Texans, but we just see the Broncos differently.
Real quick, I know it's a football show. Baseball update. If anybody has anything in the Orioles Nationals, Gunnar Henderson 2-run triple or 3-run 3-run. Sorry, it was an inside the park home run, but ruled a triple. And then right after that, a Jorge Mateo home run. So now it's 5-2.
Hold on a second. Just $30 per. Well, that sucks because I had the Orioles first 5, and all it took was it to be later in the game.
It's always the 6th inning, right?
Fuck that.
Yeah, I have the over the Orioles run line.
Well,
so
here's the deal. Okay, Corbin is. Well, listen up. Corbin he loaded the bases with no outs, and all they did was hit ground balls to not get a run. I mean, right. What the fuck? And all they had to do was be 2. I mean, give me a break.
Sorry, didn't mean to piss you off. I was just giving an update.
No Corbin Burns.
You have the over. I want you to win. You have the over. So one of you
over and Orioles run line.
Yeah,
I have the over and the team total over for the Nationals. So I just need 2 more Nationals runs, and I hit both of those.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. I got to do baseball. I still like to cap baseball. There's still spots you can find. I feel like my cap is way off. Like I went 0 for 3. I only posted 1 play on Twitter, but I went 0 for 3 yesterday. I went 0 for 1 today, and they're not bad caps. But this is where I would sit and reevaluate things. And I've got my brain on too much other shit right now that's more important. So I'm going to be doing like 1 baseball play a day or none if there's football on. I'll do Terry's show and I'll do Marley's show if we ever do one again, which I doubt we will. Moose and I do that show. But it's football season. So that was a good breakdown of that game. What's another interesting game? The Browns and Jets isn't interesting, but I like it. Let's talk about Thursday's game. That's a super interesting game. I'm on the Chiefs. That's another. I'm not going to make it a tournament, a contest bet because I don't want to put all my plays in tomorrow, and that's the way it works. But I have the Chiefs as a 7.86 point favorite. I know people are high on the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are finding a new way to be good without Tyreek Hill. Not that they weren't going to be, but Patrick Mahomes 5 touchdowns, and he threw 2 to Edwards-Helaire. So they're doing different things. I know they would. They still got Kelsey. You can't guard Kelsey's just one of those dudes. He's like a Justin Jefferson type. It's like double team him, triple team him. He's still going to have 80 plus yards a game, especially with Mahomes. The Chargers do have a good team. I think they are the second best team in the AFC. They're probably a playoff team, and they do cover the spread. I think they're 5-2 against the spread the last 7 games in Kansas City. Here's the problem. Those spreads were when Kansas City was like the best team in the NFL, and they were 7-10 point spreads. That's not the case right now. and I got it at 3.5 real early. I think it's at 4.5 now. I would honestly take this up to 6.5. I think they win by a touchdown. I have them at just over a touchdown favorite, but I think and here's the deal too. I think this has to be a definitive game for the Chiefs because I think Andy Reid knows and Patrick Mahomes should know that they're no longer at the undisputed top of the cream of the crop. People think the Chargers might be the better team in that division, and so I think they need to make a statement game in this game. So my index is right for that bet. My thoughts about where the spread has been, I think, are right for the bet, but I want to if anyone has an opinion on this, jump in.
I've already have a bet on this game, and it's something that I've been following all season, or I followed it through week 1, went 3-0 doing this, so I'm going to go right back to it here. Prime time unders. Standalone games, bet them under. They're 3-0 so far to start the year. Rams and Bills went under. Cowboys and Bucks went under. Seahawks and Broncos went under. And I'm going to be on this under. I want to be on the Packers under. I'm probably going to be on both unders on Monday night with the Titans and Bills and with the Eagles and Vikings as well. Because the last 5 seasons, primetime unders are hitting around 60%. So this is one of those things that you see Patrick Mahomes and Herbert and Justin Herbert, and you think these high-powered offenses, the Bucs know what you're thinking. And they bumped up the total a couple points. This probably should be around 52. They bump up the total a little bit because they know money is going to come in on the over on a standalone game, especially with the Chiefs in it. So I took the under 54.5. I actually really like that play.
Yeah, it has Twinspire, which I don't have an account with and don't. I mean, they usually have really crummy lines, but FanDuel's down 0.5 point, so money's coming in on the under, or at least my line's moving. I don't watch the money, but I'm assuming that's why the line
money's coming in on the over.
Is it? Then why would they be dropped? Why would it be dropping?
Because they're not as scared of the over money, is what it's saying. The books are taking a side. Yeah, and they did that with the Seahawks. All that money on the Broncos, they took a side on that one. They wanted the Seahawks so bad. So when in doubt, I'm gonna side with the books.
See, I always thought that when they weren't scared, I mean, granted, it's only 0.5 point, but that's when if there's a lot of money, the line stays stagnant.
Or it moved the opposite direction.
Well, it can be, but it would be stupid to move it too far in the opposite direction. So they moved it 0.5 point. I mean, that seems kind of like a dangerous game to play, but I'm not a bookmaker. I'm against them. I don't hate the under. There was the Rams Chiefs game in the the Rams Chiefs. What was it? Who did the Rams play in the before they played the Niners? Who did they play in their
Cardinals?
Bucks.
Yeah, I think I took the under in that. I think it was a Rams game at the end of the season, and it was a primetime game. It was a playoff game or primetime, and everyone was on the over, and I was on the under, and it hit. That's a good look. I think
it was the Cardinal game because that one went under because the Cardinals scored nothing.
Yeah. Chris, you got any thoughts in this game? It's really not. It's two really good teams. That's not usually your style, you know.
I still think that Chargers is a little smelly. I mean, all you got to do is lay 3 or 4, like you said, at home. I lean the road dog. I think there is a strong trend. In week 2 on Thursday Night Football, I think the road dogs covered like 7 in a row. I have to look it up. But, yeah, and like you said, you're right that the Chargers have played very well. They beat them outright, I think, last year in KC. And that spread was only 4. I think it wasn't quite a touchdown. It was in between. And then they lost the overtime game at home to the Chiefs. So they play tight games. Like you said, I don't know if I'll get it in because I don't know if I want to put all 5 plays in on a Thursday. But I have a fade guy, and he's probably going to be on Chiefs to the over, so I might be on the dog to the under.
Fade guy, I love it. LJ, what do you like in this game?
I like the Chiefs, man. Just considering the record against the division since Patrick Mahomes has been there, 20-4 versus the division since he's been the starter, and they were the only team that scored 40 points last week. So I'm thinking. Now, the only thing is if Khalil Mack and Bosa could get pressure on Patrick, because Khalil Mack had 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Even Bosa had a sack and a half on Derek Carr. Now, I don't know if the offensive line can hold up for Kansas City for that to happen. They are down a weapon with Keenan Allen. I think that's very important. So, but I believe the Chiefs at home, they know this division. They know the Chargers play them well. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game and cover.
I like it. Moose, you want to finish eating, or do you?
Oh, dude, I got a bomb ass snack, man.
No, you can,
I didn't even know. I just tried it.
You can do anything on the show except for things that are illegal or show private parts. We told you. We know that.
Oh, no Harry Bush.
And we can't show the Ultimate Warrior's entrance song anymore.
No, you cannot.
No, you cannot.
I mean, I feel like that should be filed under the heading of common knowledge.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess I don't have that. I guess I don't care. But the only reason why I don't show it every show, because I'm not monetized anyways, is because now we're running it on a monetized channel. So can't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, by the way, everybody, you're on ESP as well.
Yeah, by the way, just so everyone knows, you're on Earl Sports Bets, a much bigger, much more followed. They were kind enough to put this together, but I want to spread this everywhere, and it's not for getting big. I'm never going to be.
It's for the comment section.
Well, no, it is too. I love the comments, but it's to get. I mean, I want everyone in the community to win money. Everyone that isn't an asshole, because there are some assholes. But I want everyone to win money, and we should all be sharing information. We already did it. That's the point of the show. What do you got, Moose? Chiefs, Chargers.
Yellow. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking my snack.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the snack? What's the snack?
That's not important.
No, that's what we care about. What's the snack? Give us
Right?
the
It's
snack.
I actually literally just did this for the first time. One of my students told me about it, so I actually kind of raced home and tried it. Yellow mustard with tahini and pretzels.
That actually sounds good.
It is, dude. It's fucking delicious.
It's like a spicy mustard.
It kind of is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, it is, but it's not. So I strongly encourage anybody. Yellow mustard, just like regular, yellow mustard, and some tahini, and just kind of sprinkle it over, cover it up. A little pretzel. Ooh, it's good, man. It's good. But
I'm more of a queso guy with my pretzels, but yeah.
I love queso too. I'm not about to turn away somebody that brings me some queso. I mean, I'm all about that queso. But for the queso, in terms of the Chargers, Keenan Allen being out, that's a huge notable thing to mention, because of the fact that he is their possession guy, and you are going to be down him. Mike Williams didn't really have a huge game this last game. I think he was targeted only a handful of times, and it ended up being Gerald Everett down near the goal line in the red zone that became a pretty decent target for Herbert. So I don't think the Allen loss is going to be huge or all that significant, but the fact that the line jumped a point, it feels like they kind of are saying, inviting money onto the Charger side, saying, hey, we'll give you a 4.5. How about a 4.5? Like, does that sound better? The one point I think that should be really made is the Chiefs didn't allow much pressure at all from the Arizona Cardinals. But you look at what that front defensive line is like. I mean, it's an aged J.J. Watt, and it's just anybody else that they can put up there that fits the bill and can wear shoulder pads. It's going to be a much better defensive linebacking core that's going to be coming at them with different blitzes. It will be a test. But I have confidence that the Chiefs are going to be able to hold that off. I do like the under here. Specifically because I think the pace of play is going to be a little bit more sluggish. It's not going to be a huge, deep down the field threat like you might have seen with Tyreek Hill, or if Allen was there and you could stretch the field with Mike Williams. I think they're going to eliminate the vertical threat. I don't think Mike Williams is going to have that vertical presence. They'll definitely try to use him on some red zone targets. But I easily could see Clyde Edwards-Helaire continuing to establish a much more prominent role in this offense moving forward. So if you picked him in fantasy, hey, power to you, because it looks like you may have gotten one of the steals of the draft, because he could be one of those running backs that just appears and becomes a guy that you have to game plan around, you have to scheme for out of the backfield or handing off, as in our flex position. I do like how the Chiefs are operating. I think they're playing really good football. I would have loved to have gotten the Chiefs at 3.5. I thought at 3.5, I thought the hook was a little bit too much. If I get a live bet in on the Chiefs, I absolutely will be looking to try to get some kind of live bet, especially if the Chargers get a lead. I would love to bet them. And I don't care where this game is, because no matter what, it's going to be a home game for the Chiefs.
Tim, do you are you on the under 2? Do you have a thought on the side or?
And the weird thing is, I would much prefer going after a favorite that's a -3.5, 4.5 than a 2.5. As weird as that sounds, because the whole thing is with lines. With a 2.5, it's they only have to win by a field goal, and that's kind of the whole mentality. The mentality of that.
Yeah.
When it's 3.5, you think, it's dog. I don't really see it. That I kind of lean towards the -3.5s. And it's the same thing with 6.5 and 7.5. When it's a 6.5, I like the dog more. When it's a 7.5, I like the favorite more, just because of the whole mindset of, they only have to win by a touchdown or lose by a touchdown, whatever the case may be. So I would go after the Chiefs in this spot just off of that line stuff. I lean more towards the under with Nick. We already have it up on the side at a 54 for Thursday night. I think that's a good spot. You see these two offenses, Chargers, dynamic offense, Chiefs. We saw what they did last week. Everybody's going to be all over the over, and I think this one's a good defensive battle, and it ended up finishing like 27-24 or something in that range where it goes under the total.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see what we have for best for official bets here, but I want to get to Chris because I know that he's got something to do. Were we good on time? Good. Okay. Go ahead. Usually we can talk in the private chat when people need to go, but you're dealing with a phone, so interrupt us when you have to go. Like just say, hey, I got to go because I want to get your picks. But let's do this. So we can get to the Vikings Eagles game. I want to get towards the end, but let's talk about games. I want to start with LJ that you have question marks about that you might want to hear some information that we might have, or maybe the chat has. You have any? You need to be pushed over the edge on any of these, or?
Seattle and the 49ers is one.
Yes,
it's a good one. Good one to talk about. What are your thoughts?
The Elijah Mitchell injury, I think, hurts the 49ers.
Oh my God, it does. Yeah.
Kittles is still hobbling. I don't know if he practiced or anything. Seattle on the other side, Jamal Adams is hurt now. So both of these teams are dealing with key injuries that players really affect their team. But as far as the 49ers, the way that they still ran the ball 176 yards, or was that passing? That was 176 yards rushing on the 49ers. So I believe if they can control the time of possession and keep Seattle's defense on the field, they should be able to win this game. But the quarterbacks is what I'm questioning. That's why I want to see what the panel says, because both of these quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, are iffy. Geno Smith is a backup. You see what I'm saying? Trey Lance is being thrown in there. So that's the reason why I picked this game, because the quarterbacks are both, you know what I'm saying, up and down. And I don't know where to sway or take a side or anything. So I wanted to get the thoughts of the panel.
So let's say a couple things. I'm gonna let everyone else talk. I'm a Niners fan, but I have a lot to talk. This is actually a super important game for the Niners. But I think they got Marlon Mack as the 49ers just picked Marlon Mack up.
Yeah, that's not a bad running back.
Well, it's great. I'm looking at his stats in 2019. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. I mean, he used to be that he was a premier, maybe not a cowbell back, but he was a first string guy. That definitely helps him, because I happen to think that Shanahan on offense is kind of do more. You can do more with less, and he doesn't need premier running backs to get the job done. He just needs 2 or 3 decent.
Exactly. Look what they did with Raheem Mostert last year.
He's good. If he didn't get hurt, he is fucking fast. I mean, he is so fast. Anyways, go ahead. Someone pick. Go. Moose, why don't you go first? You have any thoughts on this game?
I was going to say, I mean, Mack's been cut multiple times. So I'm guessing it is not the same Marlon Mack. I loved Marlon Mack. I thought Marlon Mack was going to be the best safety net you could possibly have for Jonathan Taylor coming into the league. And then he got hurt, and I'm guessing he does not have nearly the same explosiveness that he used to, because I love Marlon Mack. I mean, he was one of those guys that I knew about him from the absolute beginning of the I think it was like the 2019, whatever, for his first year with the Colts. And he just was a good running back. Like he had timing. His He was able to read zones pretty well. He just was he wasn't great, but he was a good running back. I don't think there's enough of those in the league anymore. I think it's all just kind of that what's your skill set? Let me maximize that skill set, whether it's speed, power, or whatever. I really like the under in the Niners and Seahawks. I played it already. I grabbed the under at 42.5. I don't know where it is now, but I agree with what LJ said. I think that if the 49ers are winning this game, they're controlling game clock, they're controlling the tempo, and it's probably going to be an under. If Seahawks are winning this game, I think they're controlling the game clock, they're controlling the tempo, and it probably goes under. So, I mean, I think I haven't done an NFL moose call, but this might be very much in the running because I don't really see either of these teams really both getting into the 20s. I see more of like a 10-13 type game, to be honest.
There it is. There's a moose call. I need to I have a graphic that actually has moose call coming in on the top, but
oh wow, you're investing time and effort. I love it.
I invest way too much time on this crap. Not crap, but I'm learning. I'm a millennial, but by like 2 years, I didn't even have social media until last year. Let's go with Chris. I already know. I think what he likes in this game. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, well, in this game, yeah, I lean a little bit towards I just think I wish the Seahawks would have played a little better in the second half because they kind of came down to earth. I wish they would have kept going because everyone probably saw, and I know that 17.5 under Seahawks stayed, and it was great, that team total. But still, they won outright as over a touchdown, 6.5 dog in primetime Monday night. So I hate to take because I love road division dogs, but I do lean. The contest, it's 9.5. I'm like, okay, give me a 24-10, 24-14 win. I went all dogs last week and we went 4-1. I'm probably going to have to sprinkle in a favorite this week just because I don't know. It's hard to be that sharp on all dogs in the contest. Yep. So that might be one of our faves, but yeah, I haven't got to the no ticket number yet.
Like it. Nick or Tim? When you want Tim, you go first this time.
Seattle outright.
Yes, you're gonna disagree. I love it.
Yes. I will not back the Niners on a spread, on a money line, anything until they switch their quarterback. I am not a believer in Trey Lance. We saw what this team did. I would agree with the under. I would go with San Fran team total under. This is going to be an ugly game. I think Geno Smith is better than Trey Lance. I know he was a Jet, and trust me, I saw him as a Jet. Trey Lance has proved nothing to me. I realize this could be an overreaction because the Seahawks won Monday night and the Niners lost to the Bears. I don't care. I really don't. Seahawks outright again. I'll grab them at the plus 350 price tag. That's going to be one of your dog of the weeks. There are not going to be many dogs this week. It'll be a very chalky week, but Seahawks outright in this one for me.
All right, Nick. I know this is going to be a fun one. Go ahead.
Yep, this is part of overreaction week 2. A team that did not cover versus a team that did cover. Last week was Seattle's Super Bowl. Come on, Tim. This is a flat spot for them. They came out. They upset Russell Wilson, their former quarter. Come on, you had this team. They had this game circled since May, since they released the schedule. This is one of those spots where I had this game at 12.5. And yes, I get it. The Niners did not look good last week, but they played on a slip and slide in Chicago. I'm tossing that game completely out. That was terrible conditions and all that. I'm going to look towards the Seahawks team total under as well. I definitely think we're going to see regression from Geno Smith. And now everybody's getting a hold of, Geno Smith is 9-0 against the spread since 2014 or whatever. Everybody's going to have that stat in their back pocket too. I am going to be all over the Niners in this game. Niners minus 9.5. I had this game should be around a 12.5, 13. And probably the Seahawks team total under as well. I see this being similar to, I think said 24-10. I forgot who said 24-10, but yeah, I think it's around that range where team total under for the Seahawks is definitely in range, and the Niners take care of business.
Yeah, what is the team total under?
I can get that up in just a second here.
I will be absolutely on that as well. I mean, I will double down.
I think it was 14 and a half, if I'm not mistaken. 14.
Sorry, I was talking over you.
Or 17. I think it was 14.
I think we saw it was 17, I think, is what we.
Well, it started
14 and a half. 14 and a half.
It started at that point, same time last week, and then it bumped up to 19, and that's when I grabbed it. I grabbed it at 19 last week.
Yeah.
So, well, that's not. I mean, this is here's the deal. Let's talk about and like I said, I'm a Niners fan. I'm a Steelers fan. Those are my two teams. I'm way more of a Niners fan though. They kind of put themselves in. Well, it's just for the audience. They like to follow along. You know, makes us human. Not everyone is so cold and black-hearted like Moose. I think, and I know the Niners, and this is why they were a question mark this year. If they had a quarterback, they might be the best team in the NFC. I have a problem with Trey Lance, and it's not. I still think he's a question mark. But they made a big blunder. They went to the Super Bowl. Then they only won 6 games. Garoppolo looked horrible in 2020. Then they went out and got Trey Lance. Then they almost went to the Super Bowl again. So the big question mark is, do we stick? And Jimmy G had a good QBR and was a game manager. I mean, he was definitely above average if you looked at the other quarterbacks in the league. He wasn't top 10, but definitely top 16. They said, okay, well, we have this guy. This is our horse. We number 1 draft pick, right? Our first round draft pick. What are we going to do now that Jimmy G just had a good year? So that's why, and everyone's like, okay, well, Jimmy G's going to go. Well, why didn't he? The Niners wanted him and Jimmy G wanted to stay. Big, scratch your chin. I think they knew this was going to happen. They have to ride with their boy, though, and that can affect how it's, because if this goes 4 or 5 games, this might cost them 4 or 5 games. I think they should dump Lance now. They're not going to because they have too much invested in him as far as being their first round draft pick. But they made a blunder, and it was kind of actually their thought process wasn't bad, but they didn't know that they'd have such a good year last year. If they had a bad year, everyone would be anointing Trey Lance. Now, the last game he does get a pass. That was the wettest game I've ever seen at the stadium where it's going to be wet because the grass is the longest at Soldier Field. There's puddles everywhere. And I think the Niners bounce back. The problem is, in this game for me, isn't the Niners. It's the Seahawks. The Seahawks surprised the hell out of me. Geno Smith surprised me. Their defense surprised me the most. Their defensive front surprised me the most. Granted, the O-line, San Francisco has a great O-line. San Francisco has a really great all-around team. The Niners are also not known for covering spreads over a touchdown. They're just not. They're just like my other team, USC. So when you're looking at the trends, which I know we're going to go to – LJ's probably looking at them too, they're kind of conflicting. I mean, Seattle's 5-2, their ATS their last 7. San Francisco's 5-1. But the last 20 games that these teams have played, Seattle's covered 15. They're 15-5. But San Francisco's covered 4 of the last 5 at home. So there's all this conflicting information. But I think for me, I'm definitely looking at a Seahawks. I'm thinking about betting against my team, and it's probably a pick I'm gonna choose. It's just too many points. Go ahead, LJ. Shoot.
The problem with those trends, there are different quarterbacks, and and it applies to a lot in this week too, because that's what I'm going through right now. What was your record before your quarterback left? Because a lot of teams have different quarterbacks, so those trends, you know what I'm saying, are not going to be accurate because of who's throwing the ball and who's behind center now.
No, I feel you, but they're both drop-offs. I mean, definitely Geno Smith is, but I think the reason why Jimmy G he's not a Wentz, but he does have a bad decision here or there. But people don't realize, like last year, I don't know if it was a whole season, the second half of the season, he had a top 5 QBR, which means he's an efficient quarterback. If you have a game managing quarterback that has a good QBR, you plug him in a team that runs the ball and plays defense, you're the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. I mean, or the Steelers, granted, that was the old Steelers, not the Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, you say like he makes a couple bad decisions here or there. Is like me saying I only got drunk a couple of times in college.
He's not as bad as people put him out to be. He went to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship, and he was a big part of the team. I mean, I don't know how you suddenly fall from grace so quickly. He had one. Granted, it was sandwiched.
Fourth quarters. That's how.
That's true. I mean,
you watch those games, Dave. You watch those games when you needed that game-winning drive just to get in field goal range. Second play of the series, pick.
Yeah. Well, the Super Bowl was won by Patrick Mahomes. He's the credit for them losing that game. But the Rams game last year, the reason why they didn't go was 100%. We couldn't get down the field to score again. That was 100% it. Anyway, we're all over the place on this one too. LJ,
We're all over the place the entire card, I guarantee it.
Probably. What do you lean? What's your lean? You brought this up. Do you have a lean?
Under.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only play.
All right, I guess that's the one thing we're all going to agree on is
I
the
can't
under.
pick a side because
Yeah.
both teams are just. I have to see more. That's just the way it looks. Because, like I said, but only reason why I think Seattle played well is because Russell Wilson was coming back to Seattle. That's the only reason I think they played the way they did. And we could say for the 49ers, they have injuries. It was raining, the weather, so that may have affected them too. So I got to see more between these two teams. But if I had to pick, definitely going under.
Yeah, milk that under. Milk that under.
Milk it. We'll see. Some parts of me want the Niners to really do bad, but only for like 1 or 2 games and put in Jimmy G. But they're probably gonna struggle with Trey Lance for the first 5 or 6 games, and maybe lose 2 or 3 of those, which sucks. But anyways, all right, let's pick another game. Chris, do you have any games that you have question marks that you want to talk about, or?
Let me wait.
He's at a biker bar.
Oh.
No, actually, he's at a bikini bar.
Yeah, right. I could hear somebody just. Oh, that motherfucker's
Sure,
on the phone.
that's what that is. That's definitely what that is.
The vibrator.
Oh, you got vibrator from that. That's where you went. Okay.
Could be a-
All right.
it
We're
could be
talking
a
about
really
like manly
big vibrator.
bikers, and you immediately take the right turn to, can you fit it inside your asshole?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It takes a vibrator that powerful,
I don't think you should be telling people that. I do not. I think you should file that under things people do not need to know.
Hey, it's an open forum here. Open forum.
Apparently, it's an open.
I don't think
forum.
that's what that means.
Super open.
Yeah, very open.
Way too open.
Go ahead.
Gaping.
The motorcycle right.
Go ahead.
Rad. No, I'll get out. I'm gonna get out of here soon.
Okay, go ahead. Give us your 1 to 3 official looks and explain a little bit.
I think one that I have to get in because it's probably one of the most disgusting, and I have to do it, is the good old fucking Cowboys. I might have to just hold my nose and do it because I don't think Dak's worth 9 points, and
He's
Cooper
not in.
Rush. That's what I'm
Cooper
saying.
Rush, yeah.
What would it have been? Minus
I see what
2?
you're saying. Oh, yeah.
They're giving me +7. Cooper, we always say backups are always good for one game. Hopefully they can do what he did in what he went to Minnesota last year and won outright. So I'm hoping that they can keep it close. Lose by 6, lose by 3. A little overreaction, how shitty they looked on Sunday night. They couldn't do anything on offense. And I think I lean that way. The contest is 7. I think that's smelly too. Why not give the hooker the 8? They're kind of just like with the Texans. They just left it at 7. What'd they do? Cover easy. So I lean that way in that one. And you can put me down for official or not. I'm probably going to be on Titans 10, and then probably lean Eagles too that night. I think a lot of people are on the Vikings.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
Eagles doing it. So 1 fave and a couple dollars.
So I have the Cowboys as one of my circle bets, and I hate betting the Cowboys. There's no way that Dak's worth 8 or 9 or 10 point, whatever the line. Fuck that. No way.
Hey, I got a question then. Would the Cowboys then take home the trophy for the biggest overreaction from week 1?
I think so.
Maybe.
I mean, I saw Dak Prescott. He was dropped in leagues. I mean, people were just saying, "Oh, Dak fucking sucks," and he was getting dropped left and right. I cannot tell you how many of the sports talk shows were saying that the Cowboys are basically going to be finishing bottom of the league. That they don't have it. They're not going to be able to eclipse their total wins. I mean, I saw a lot of reaction where it was essentially one game and their season's over.
PointsBet's already cashed out the under 10.5 season wins for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's the annoying Cowboys fans that anoint their team. But I'll tell you what, that's too many points. I don't care if it's
it's still. And the other thing is they will be getting Michael Gallup back sooner than expected, and that could change a lot of what they're able to do. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like the Buccaneers basically said, "We dare you to beat us through the air without CeeDee Lamb. We dare you to find a secondary option, whether it's Schultz or Tolbert or whoever it might be." And there really wasn't that secondary option. The other thing that I could see in Cowboys games until they get the Gallup back would be them trying to establish more of a running game and getting Pollard more involved, because they kind of had a decent, like an even split. I wouldn't be surprised if they use Pollard in a little bit more of a creative way with the passing game through the air, trying to set up a couple of some wide receiver screens to him, some running back screens to him. Because if I counted correctly when I went back, I think he had 2 screens from a running back position. I might be wrong on that.
I wasn't keeping that's a deep dive.
That's a significantly low number for a guy like Pollard, where you want to get him in space, especially for a team that was just completely I forget there's a fancy word that means they didn't have it, and I can't think of that word right now. But they never used him in that role. They just kind of like, "Oh, we're going to use you as a standard back." Imagine if they were able to get him out in space against the Buccaneers. Imagine if they were able to use him a little bit more creatively. Granted, you would have to involve some coaching for Mike McCarthy, and coaching and Mike McCarthy don't exactly go well together.
Mm-hmm. It's true. All right, bud, we're going to let Chris go. He needs to go get his foot figured out. Thanks for coming, buddy. Plug fade you, plug whatever.
Bengals fucking had 5 turnovers. And still could have won if the fucking kicker makes a kick. So that is a little scary. You know they're not going to have 5 turnovers again. But still, I'm just hoping the Cowboys can play better. Their D played pretty well. Their offense just couldn't do shit. So hopefully they can keep it close. At Fade You Sports with the U, Fade You Sports. All the guys were good. We had 3 teams go 4-1 last week. Hopefully we can do it again. And guys, it's great being here. And I'm going to watch this when we're done and get some more winners from you guys.
Cool, buddy. Thanks for coming. And we'll see you on Friday if you're coming. You're welcome.
Yeah. Talk some more college. Let's go.
All right, buddy. Take care. Let's continue with this Cowboys game. LJ, what are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, man, the Bengals. I'm gonna lean towards the Bengals, to be honest, because like I said, they had 5 turnovers, and I think they can fix that up. I don't see the Cowboys being a threat, and the Cowboys are at home, and we know that teams come into their building and make it their home stadium.
Yeah.
So I can see the Bengals bouncing back. Both teams are 0-2, and I'm gonna lean towards the better team that's 0-2.
0-1.
So, 0-1. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's only week 1. Only week 2.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Bengals because I think they can fix their issues faster than the Cowboys can fix theirs.
Tim, what do you think?
I'm going to quickly shout out my work buddy Sean Higgs. He does a show at 10 on Sunday night during like the end of the Sunday night football game called Look Ahead Lines. So I have an unfair advantage for this game because we all got Cincinnati Bengals money line plus 110 and the under 51, which is no longer a thing. It's down to a 41 on some books, and it's up to -7 for the Bengals. So I have an unfair advantage. I already got both of those bets locked in, so I'm not touching this game regardless anymore. I already have what I wanted, but I watched his show each Sunday, and he always beats a bunch of big line movements throughout the week. So if you're if you want to really get into betting lines early, which I'm a big advocate for, this is the exact game that we're looking at because we put it in before Dak Prescott hurt his hand, and then it moved like crazy. So
let me interrupt real quick. The game's about to start. Do we like Arizona versus the Dodgers?
Absolutely love the Diamondbacks tonight. -1 at
Thoughts,
+169.
LJ, Moose? I know Moose isn't capping sides. LJ, what do you think?
You know, I take Diamondbacks first 5 anyway. I don't care who
I'm
they're
taking
playing.
full game money line.
Yeah,
That's just-
you got to look. There's no Betts, no Freeman, no Turner. It was a very lackluster team, especially after the Dodgers clinched the division last night, which is the fastest a team has clinched a division since they moved to 162 games.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they love freaking doing it at Arizona. I feel like they clinch it every single year in Arizona, and they always celebrate in the pool in right field. But they just won a division. They clinched a division last night. They're sitting a lot of players. It went from Dustin May to Grove.
Yep.
So this is a clear and straightforward Arizona play because Arizona was only a +115.
I was over looking at it.
The Dodgers have crushed Davies. The Dodgers have absolutely crushed Davies over the years. I mean, he has had some really bad
lineup tonight.
I mean, I get that. But I mean, if you're a pitcher and you see that uniform, it can create that little bit of trepidation. And I would not trust Davies at all versus the Dodgers ever. I mean, if you guys are cashing it, awesome. I mean, power to you. But Davies versus the Dodgers is not something I'm trying to get on board with. The one thing that I would say is if the roof is closed, which I'm not sure it is. I don't think it is. If the roof is closed, then Davies will have a better performance because he is more of a fly ball pitcher. If the roof is open, I'd be tempted to take an over there.
It's 95 there now. They're gonna close it and have the ace. Well, I don't
think
know.
They are. I mean, that's right at the borderline of like when they kind of close that thing. I mean, it seems like 93, 92 is kind of when they.
Well, let me tell you, this line dropped from when May was there. It was opened at +135. I just got it at +111. But it's down some books to +100. So that one chance. I mean, it's, and I don't know where the money's at, but that's
Those are probably reactions to the lineup coming out.
What is Arizona's stadium name again?
I don't know.
Arizona.
Sorry, what was that?
Chase Field.
Chase Field. All right, I got nothing on underdog for it, so.
Yeah, the other part is that the guys that the Dodgers put in there, they would be starters on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like, so when you're talking about Chris Taylor, Joey Gallo, all those guys, those would all be starters for the Diamondbacks. And Christian Walker's cool, but Ketel Marte has been absolutely a struggle bus this year. Alex Thomas has been decent as a rookie. But, I mean, the Diamondbacks offense is very much predicated off the fact that they're going to be able to put the ball out. And I mean, the one golden thing that you have going for you if you are on the Diamondbacks is you are looking for Grove to not necessarily go that deep. You get the back end of that Diamondback bullpen, which has been super sus for the entire year. But if that game ends up being kind of an over and it goes back and forth, I think that starts favoring the Dodgers. And you can always put a Dodger in for a pinch hit later on in the game. So I would agree that if you're going to take Diamondbacks, it's absolutely first 5. You're not taking it full game because you could see some players come in a little bit later. I don't think they would. I don't know why they would, but you might want to get a guy in at bat just to kind of keep him fresh. You don't want players getting stale or tight. And
it's only one day off,
rhythm.
so it
Well,
would only be one day off.
Moose,
So
you're not betting sides, right? You're not betting the game?
No, I'm not betting sides. I've kind of found my little niche. But again, I did my inventory in baseball, so maybe I'm not the best person to listen to. I went from being up 17.8 units in the end of June to I am now down 23 units. So
yeah,
August
we
and July.
both had horrible August. I mean, I broke even, which I think is bad, but you got smashed, and
we got smashed.
It's not because I'll tell you this. Moose is one of the best MOB, and LJ can tell you this. All these guys. Moose is one of the best MOB cappers I know. It's just you don't always win. So when you guys see and I didn't want to post records for the show. It's not about that. But why I did it is because I want to showcase you guys. But I'll tell you what, that's going to regress, and we're going to have losing shows, and we might have 3 losing shows in a row. But it's all about the long-term, documented, verifiable results. That's why all of us have records that you can look at it. Picks and parlays, Moose posts his record, LJ posts his record. Everything's transparent. Now, I know Tim and Nick bet the game. LJ bet the game. Kelly bet the game. We're all on the Diamondbacks, and Moose is on the Dodgers. He didn't bet the game, so it's a Diamondbacks game.
Hey, there you go, Diamondbacks.
But it started anyway, so it's not like you're really getting to it early now.
No, I bet it late, and I wouldn't have pushed me over the edge, but I want to have a winner today. That just maybe makes me, 0-2. I only bet one game today.
Fair.
So anyway, all right. So back to, have we finished? All of our thoughts on the Cowboys and Bengals. Does anyone else have anything to say? I'm on the Cowboys.
At this point, it's Cowboys and the over or nothing.
You guys caught a line. I mean, granted, it's good to say what you guys did, which is very smart capping. But that just shows you if you really, really want to jump in and have an edge in handicapping,
got to bet early.
Look at the lines right when they come out. I don't always do that. I have too much stuff going on. But I always it's hard to do. It's really hard to do to catch something like that. But when you do, you can right now bet both sides and win.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really want to take the Cowboys here.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, if I can get 8 and a hook, absolutely.
Yeah, you middle the fuck out of it. I love
absolutely.
That.
Yeah. At this point, tease the over and the Cowboys. Yeah. I think that could be an interesting. I know we probably don't do teasers that often, but
no,
tease the Cowboys.
I don't promote parlays, and I definitely don't do teasers and pleasers because those are even worse. But there are people that have a strategy to it. But I'm going to say in the long term, they're even if they're winning, which is hard to do, they're not. It would be a lot better to take straight bets. It's always
100%.
All right, so let's do Moose. Did we go to you with any game that you're looking at for the NFL that you have questions? You don't know. I know you're focused so much on freaking college football, but do you have any games that you maybe need to be pushed over the edge with, or?
Shit. I think the only one would be. I mean, I already bet it though. That's the thing is I was on the edge and I bet it, so it's kind of like I would like to hear justification. You know what? Actually, I take that back. There is one game I absolutely want to hear everybody's take on, and it would be the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles, because I kind of think there might be some sneaky points there. I know that somebody in the chat said that they like that primetime game as their one primetime over. The one thing that I kind of saw last week, and we talked about it here on the Capper Collective Nerd Talk, whatever you want to talk about it, a nerd with a guy that actually is an athlete. And so I thought that it might be a situation where Minnesota's defense would be underappreciated, especially with Daniel Hunter. I mean, I talked about it last week, and that dude showed up. I mean, he didn't disappoint. He was getting pressure. He may not have had a ton of sacks, but he was getting in the backfield. He was creating havoc. And how is that going to translate to a quarterback that can now run and get out of the pocket? The Eagles looked okay against the Lions. They got the job done. What can we expect from the Eagles offense versus the Vikings defense, and vice versa? What can we expect from the Eagles defense versus the Vikings offense, which is going to be good this year, at least until Cousins decides to be Kirk Cousins and start throwing the game away. And I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. I'm not a huge Kirk Cousins fan. I think he's one of the best backup quarterbacks of all time. And he was able to get a payday. Congratulations. Good for him. But what is going to happen in those matchups? The Vikings offense versus the Eagles defense, and the Eagles offense versus the Vikings defense. How are those things going to play out?
I kind of wanted to save it. How long are you going to be on? You're going to be on here for the long shot, or are you getting off early?
I don't know.
I'm going to save that for Terry because I want him to have something to say, and also he might get angry, which is always fun. I love Terry. Terry, where the F are you? Get on here.
You didn't give him a link.
Oh, I didn't?
He texted me earlier saying, Dave didn't give me a link. He must hate me.
Yeah, didn't he say earlier, I'll be on in a little bit?
He said,
was that? Oh, never mind. Forget that. Don't even imagine. Don't go back. You don't need to go back. Don't scroll up.
I'm looking. Dude, it's all
quote unquote. Dave didn't send me the link. He hates me.
Text him back and say I'm sending it right now because I want to talk about this game. I always get him mixed up with his freaking group, and then I say stuff in the group that isn't bad, but yeah, he's got the link. So let's wait for him to come on. the Patriots Steelers, we can talk about that in the comments. I think I'm on the Steelers.
Really? No way.
Yeah. All right. So we can. This is probably another game we talk about. Did we ever talk about the Broncos game? We did, but we can talk about it now because we've got probably one of the most famous or infamous Broncos fans of all time. None other than Vegas' finest, Dutch Boy Fresh.
What?
Yeah.
Oh!
Hey, we got Nerd Nation. Pick some
What a
days.
surprise! What a surprise!
Hey, LJ.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro.
it's well overdue. Well overdue. Salute to my guy, Pick some Dave. You know I had to drop in, say hello to the friends and everyone in the chat. Much love to everyone out here, man. How we doing today, Dave?
We're doing good. We're just we've been over some of the games. We talked about your team. I 100% are going to get your opinion. So let's, I guess, start there on how much time you got. But let's jump in. I mean, I know pretty much where you're going to be at. But let's put some substantial shit behind it. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, first of all, if you watch, game one, we should say, obviously to kick off the motherfucking season. Well, first, let me get into it. Tim, I haven't met you yet before. Salute to you, my man. Earl, I haven't met you before.
That's Nick. Tim is Tim, and Nick is the other twin. He's the one with the beard. And they're Earl Sports Bets is their own. They have their own deal. They're big PSR fans. Big PSR fans.
So Tim is Tim. I believe I seen one of these cats with Jimmy the Bag. And then
I've been on his show twice. It was a while ago.
Yeah, hockey, right?
Hockey.
Yeah. Good shit, man. Nice to meet both of you guys. But yeah, man, it's nothing. It's gonna be nothing but a homer pick, right? Because I'm on the Broncos -10. If you tuned into the Daily Sesh today on Puff Sports Radio, I broke it down like a pound and let you know everything. So it can't really be a homer pick. We know we got LJ, we got Houston's finest right in here with LJ, so he's gonna bring the Texans love if it's supposed to be there, and he's definitely gonna call me out if I'm a little biased. But I really think it was clear that Denver was a better team offensively. They moved the ball 360 yards. Russell Wilson accumulated. I believe they finished with a little over 400. I don't have my notes in front of me, but over 400 yards offensively, top 5 NFL. They're top 5 in the NFL week 1 offensively, 55 or 53% every time on third downs. They moved the fucking ball. Unfortunately, when they got to the goal line, they forgot what the object was. It's to get into the paint. I guess they just didn't want to do that. And then obviously, the 64-yard field goal, what the fuck was that, right? I mean, if it doesn't get any more fugazi than that, I mean, goddamn it. I paid $500 to watch that movie. Hopefully y'all didn't have to pay that much. My man LJ actually got paid to go to that flick. So I appreciate that, But come Sunday, it'll be Orange Country. It'll be Broncos country. It'll be Orange Crush. No one will be more hyped than Denver Nation to have Russell Wilson in the building for week 2, excuse me. But it is the opening game for Denver. I expect them to move the ball. Keep in mind, Houston also played somewhat well. My man, easy cover with the +7 week 1 from LJ. But they gave up a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. I mean, come on, man. That's just what bad teams do. And Houston Texans are a bad team, in my opinion. They cannot run the ball. They had 77 total yards rushing last week. Denver, if you looked at that D in the second half, they were locked the fuck in. Like I said on the Daily Session, it was almost like a Remember the Titans moment. They really didn't get shit. They being the suspect Seahawks in that second half. PS2, that it's his island over there. Bradley Chubb showed up in the second half as well. I look to see nothing but more of that. A lot of ball movement, a lot of first downs, and a lot of fucking touchdowns in Denver. Dabby Cabs on the first half. I'm on a -10 full game because the altitude will kick in as well, as we know. So 4 quarters, I believe it's bigger advantage to take the full game. I endorse anything with the Broncos, first quarter, first half, whatever you want to put on it. I believe the best bet is full game -10.
Yeah, and you know what? I think most everyone here, I'm leaning Texans. I'm probably going to be talked off it. I know Tim is too, but everyone else was Broncos, and I can see it. I think there are so many. I saw so many question marks with the Broncos. Number one is the coach, and we'll talk about this real quick, and let the other guys jump in. I think that when you're scratching your chin why he did that, and I think there's 2 reasons, and they're really, really bad. One is maybe he didn't. Russell Wilson was running around like Speedy Gonzalez in the backfield.
Did not look comfortable at all.
He didn't. So he's basically saying, "Hey, Russ, I don't have faith in you," which is horrible for that relationship and horrible for a future Hall of Famer. That's stupid. The second thing is I think he was trying to get cute, and this is something I can't prove, but he's like, "Well, I'm going to be alternative. I'm a new coach. I'm going to make a decision that no one else would, and we're going to win the game." But a 64-yard field goal, not in Denver, in the first or loudest stadium, that or Arrowhead, in the NFL, is complete dog shit coaching.
I mean, absolutely. And that's the number one red flag. I have no faith in this guy after week one. I'll be completely honest with you. Obviously did not have him prepared for kickoff, and then it simply went downhill from there. And then they made all the adjustments in the third quarter, and then he made the biggest mistake of the game. And it was literally like a Scott Frost moment, right? Week one, up 2 touchdowns, and he does the onside kick. My man Moose knows this very well. So it's like, obviously he doesn't have a job no more. So, I mean, if Nathaniel fucking can't hack it, he's on his way there. But that's literally what it was, I want to be the headline. It's almost like when they took the ball away from Marshawn, they didn't want Marshawn to be the guy. They wanted Russ to be the guy. Well, Nathaniel wanted to be the guy, and they didn't want Russ. Believe me, I'm glad I heard what I heard is he had a night to sleep on it, and he said, I made the wrong decision. But after the game, he said he would do it again. So he slept on it and he fucking came to his senses. But you know what that was, Dave. I mean, let's be real. And I believe number 2 is your number 2 B would be the correct answer to that. But I do think it was all set up, bro. I mean, come on, man. The NFL, it has its moments, and that was definitely one of them, in my opinion. Yeah,
that's the thing. Everyone was saying, you kept on saying that someone made the call. I'm
telling you, bro. Tell me who.
Are you surprised though? Are you surprised?
I don't know, dude. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not going to rule it out because that was, you had Peyton Manning, who was very, very even keel and not judgmental, going, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?"
Dalton Varsho home run, by the way. 1-0 Diamondbacks.
Hey, who's a bigger supporter than the Denver Broncos than the guy you just mentioned, or the other guy on the screen, Shannon Sharp, who was literally fucking dumbfounded? Shannon Sharp reacted like I did. Peyton Manning reacted like, Dave would be professionally and shit. Me, I'm not going to handle it like that. I'm going to be a little more like Shannon Sharp and act a fucking fool because 60 what? I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it. I could not.
I love that. I loved what Shannon Sharp on the Manning cast was literally like, this Broncos team right now when he shows his bottle of Hennessy, I'm like, okay, fair. That's me watching the Mets. That's fair.
That's shade, bro. Hey, man.
Maybe with Hackett making the decision, maybe he got excited knowing that the Nebraska job is open and he can pull Scott Frost moves and go out of that job.
Hey, bro. Hey, that smirky ass fucking grin he has, he can take his ass to the Cornhusker State. Seriously, bro. Like I thought we got rid of that goofy ass fucking smirk with Vance Joseph, if you remember him. He just had that look of like, where the fuck am I at? Oh, you should be on the fucking sidelines with a head coaching fucking cap on. I'll tell you that. And then we lose Fangio, and I'm thinking we're getting an upgrade. But definitely for sure took me back to week 1 in Nebraska watching Monday Night Football. It literally felt like college football coaching.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen the fake Nathaniel Hackett Twitter account.
Oh, yeah, that shit's funny.
Dude, that is hilarious. Russell Wilson is going to be sending me Bible verses all week long.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, bro. One had me being like, this, my head coach said this, and then I had to look at it, and I'm like, oh, it's a parody or whatever the fuck count,
Parody.
Yeah, parody. Thank you. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that don't seem to pick that up, and they are getting in those comment section, and they are maxing out that character limit.
No, a lot of people don't. And I used to be one of those guys because I'm new to social media, like relevantly, the last couple of years. So I don't know. I didn't know they made troll accounts, and the Bleacher Report got me a couple times. They put the A in there. Yeah, that shit got me a couple times with LBJ and shit.
Cool. Well, hey, what we've what we're going to do, I don't know how much time you got here, but we do official plays, and we've actually smoked it. You saw the tweet. I didn't want this to be sort of an advertisement of any sort, and I do want it to be an advertisement, but I want to advertise the dudes that are on here. not necessarily like we're the best place to come and overinflate stuff, but we smoked it. We've won 15 and a half units in 3 shows.
I see that.
Yeah, it's nuts. But we're going to get to official plays. But before that, are there any games that you've got question marks on that you kind of want to talk out?
I'm really just here to vibe with you guys. I feel like I've already said enough, but I'm gonna chill for a minute. But yeah, what I gave out. I really question mark games. Shit, I don't have my notes. You guys can talk about.
Let's go with what you like. Give us your 1 to 3 plays that you really like.
Like a backwood game to me is a game that people talked about earlier. Was the Pittsburgh Patriots game. To me, find an edge, go ahead. But to me, that's just a game. Like, why the fuck bet on it? But someone will find a way, find an edge somewhere, I'm sure. But a lot of question marks in that game. But I love the Saints, man. I love them at +3. I bet them at +140, +3. The number's not there, but still there's value on the Saints. If you want to tease them, whatever the fuck you want to do, please put some money on the New Orleans Saints on Sunday because they're the play. I'm telling you right now, short week with the Sunday night game for Tom Brady and the boys. But what you've seen from the Bucs was a little bit more, I think, of what we see from Dallas. Dallas is really that bad, Their front seven is decent, but they showed the weakness also of the Buccaneers, which is that offensive line. So you gotta put a little bit of pressure on Tom Brady. Obviously, he has weapons all over the fucking place. But I believe New Orleans was in cruise control against Atlanta. I called that game on the sesh. I just knew that's the way it was going to go. If I'm looking for Mariota props still with the rushing there with Atlanta, we hit that too as well. I haven't seen it hit the board yet, but I'm waiting for that in the Atlanta Falcons game. We're going to be riding Mariota until they catch on with the rushing props. But yeah, in this game, simply New Orleans Saints has a better defense. They're at home. They've had their fucking way with Tampa. I believe that the Bucs are 1-7 their last 8 straight up and against the spread against the Buccaneers. The Saints are 15-3 last 18 overall straight up against the NFC South. I'm all over the Saints here. A lot of people like the Bucs. I don't really fucking get it. They didn't impress me too well. They did what they're supposed to do. They beat a shitty, poor-ass Dallas Cowboy team. I mean, by kicking a whole bunch of fucking field goals. They're not going to go into New Orleans and do that. So it's going to be who dat early and often. But I got the +140 and the +3 in my pocket, which I believe is fucking good money.
Tim, you're shaking your head.
Oh yeah, I love the Saints this weekend. I'm obviously a Jets fan, so I hate Tom Brady, but that's beyond the point. I was strongly saying that this is going to be the year that Tom Brady dropped off, and he already didn't look good in week 1. Sure, they won 19-3, whatever it was. He did not look that good. And when it comes down to it, against a Cowboys team that's got no offensive weapons, because Dak, that was a struggle. The offensive line is garbage on Dallas, and they've got one good wide receiver.
Yeah.
New Orleans has Winston, which love him or hate him, however people view him, I think he's pretty solid. He's going to throw a bunch of touchdowns. He's going to throw a bunch of interceptions. It's going to be the deal. But at least he's got weapons around him. Michael Thomas looks strong after not playing for almost 2 years. He looks
ready to go.
All they need to do is get Alvin Kamara up and running because he's been absent the past, year. Once they get him back up and running, this team, and I know me and Nick were both on it, I like the Saints to win the division. I think I do not like this Tampa Bay team. I think they got a bunch of older players, and I think towards the end of the year, will the Buccaneers make the playoffs? Probably, but it will be a wild card. I don't think they win the division. I think this is their step back. I think Brady takes a big step back. I like the Saints.
Yeah, Winston got a little inside thing against them too.
Well, let's talk about Jameis Winston because I think the guy's a complete goofball, stealing crab legs, licking his fingers. But this is why I think he's the biggest goofball. Check this out.
And who else is going to be able to step up to make some plays? So, to me, I view Jameis Winston as the favorite. I think he almost has to lose this job.
I knew this was coming. It was coming.
If you could be a bigger fucking goofball than that guy.
Hey, the guy was just having fun.
And he has his moments. Remember, he's also national championship.
Right.
All right. He's also holds that ring too. And he's also the number one pick in the draft too. But yeah, he definitely has his moments. Even last week after the win, he's a goofy motherfucker. If you watch it,
100% goofy.
Yeah, my man Tim touched on it though. I mean, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, the kid from OSU, the first round pick, Olivia. Come on, man. I mean, they literally flipped the switch in Atlanta and said, we're going to win the football game. Down 16 in the fourth quarter and said, okay, we're going to win the game. This is a fucking bet on football team in New Orleans. It was a fade week one, and we said that. But after week one, we got to back those Saints. I'm right with Tim there. I think they're winning the division. They got an all-around defense. And the key to in this game, in my opinion, is stopping Leonard Fournette. And the Saints did give up a lot of yards last week, but they had a top 5 rush defense last year. And like I mentioned, they take these Bucks a little more serious than they take the Dirty Birds in Atlanta. So look for New Orleans to come out and play their best football game on Sunday.
Cool.
Dude, I'm all about this. And
you didn't say nothing about last week.
I lost last week. I did cash the first half, though. I cashed that first half.
Did you get that Marcus Mariota prop, though?
I did cash the Mariota prop. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Too, my man.
And I tailed you on the Dolphins, and that ended up cashing me a fucking unit this last week. So
I'm glad I hope we got on that early. I couldn't even get that out on Jimmy's show because it already moved. It was like 3.5 by that time, and we don't like to give out bad numbers. But yeah, I'm glad you got on that. My bad.
Yeah, I got on it, and your entire basically my entire card is because of your advice. And if I didn't follow it, I would have had a losing week. I can promise you that. I am on this, and I plan on being on the Saints, but I thought that the number might go up a little bit because of what people in the general public might see when they look at the two games and they go, oh, man, the Buccaneers dominated the Cowboys and the Saints barely beat the Falcons. So I thought I might end up with a better number, and I don't think it's shifted all that much.
It's down to 2.5. I don't think the 3s are there anymore, but the real money is coming in on New Orleans.
Yeah,
the parlays, all that, they could bet Tampa all they want, but the real money's coming in on that value at home.
Yeah, and that's I think where I still got to grow and I still got to learn, because my assumption was that people are going to look at last week and they're going to have that kind of reaction to it. But the one thing I did grab, and the thing that I fucking love, is the under here, and I grabbed that at 44.5. Look, I don't think Tom Brady's going to just start sucking, but when he doesn't have the time, which his offensive line isn't going to provide, he immediately starts going to those checkdowns and just those dump offs, and those are just going to be swallowed the fuck up by the Saints. That is something they do super well. They flock to the ball extremely well. If I miss the 3 on the Saints, that's going to piss me off, because I really wanted to get a better number. I wanted to get possibly a better, like a 3.5.
You could take a money line, man. They're good. Yeah. They're going to win the football game, in my opinion.
Keep in mind, Tampa Bay still has Tom Brady, so the public's going to deep throat Tom Brady every single.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's why I waited.
No. Just wait until the public bettors get to it, and they're going to deep throat Tom Brady like they do every single week, and then the line will move up.
So you think the line will go back to 3?
I don't think. I think
they're
not going to want to middle themselves. Yes. I don't think once it dropped down or go back, they don't want to middle themselves. The books.
I don't think you're seeing a 3. That's why we touched on this game on Monday. To be honest with you, but you could be right, Tim. I'm just, in my opinion, we touched on this game on Monday because I didn't expect a 3 to be out there by today, and obviously it's not there, but it could definitely come back because the Tom Brady love can come in. But I was surprised that the 3 hung around so long. It honestly dropped today to 2.5.
Yeah, because I would love to get that 3. I would love fucking 3.5. The one thing I will say, though, is Winston will be Winston. And
Corbin Carroll home run, 2-0 Diamondbacks. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I didn't.
You're going to get the best Winston against Tampa. Believe that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If he wants to prove one team wrong, it's Tampa Bay. But the Saints have fucking had their way with Tampa, with or without Winston, with or without Tom Brady. It's just what it is.
Yeah, but he can get caught up in that narrative of I'm competing against the other quarterback, which is never true. I mean, you're never really truly competing against the other quarterback. You're competing against the fucking defense. And sometimes quarterbacks kind of feed into that, and Winston is absolutely under that category of a quarterback that will try to compete stat line wise, at least, against the other quarterback. So I can kind of see him.
Of course he's going to compete, Moose. Really, what it is what Dave said. Don't do no dumb shit.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
All the way or throw it right to the other team. Even when Jameis Winston led the league in fucking interceptions with 35, he led the league in fucking passing yards and was way the fuck up there in touchdowns. So it's like he either is glory or shit. So realistically, just don't turn the ball over, and Jameis Winston will be fine.
Yeah, especially if he gets it out early to Kamara. I mean, Michael Thomas looked fucking back. Like when I was watching his highlights, that dude was
played in 2 years. He better look good, right?
I mean, right? He was talking all that shit about he didn't want to play for Drew Brees no more and all that kind of thing. I can understand that, but it's pure and simple. Dude looked fucking athletic. Like he was making.
I know Drew Brees is your guy, Moose, but why do you think he didn't want to play for him?
It was the whole race thing. I mean, do I need to go
so?
into it?
I don't think it was a race thing. I think it was because his ass couldn't throw past 40 yards.
You think that was it? I mean, I could see kind of both playing.
I forgot about the race thing, though. I didn't even think about that. But of course you'd bring that up, Moose. But no, I just couldn't think Drew Brees could throw past 25, 30 yards, to be honest with you, after last year. I can see that. That was my man. He couldn't throw the ball deep. And if you're a receiver with the talent of him, why do you want someone who can't make all the throws? Like, he shouldn't be back there hiking the ball, in my opinion. And that's probably – but Michael Thomas had a bad ankle too, so
that's true. He was
legitimately injured. He took his time with that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there was legitimate. I think there was some frustration with how Drew Brees just kind of held himself as the leader of that clubhouse.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. That's some bullshit, though. If you want me, I don't even want to get into that.
I don't want to either.
How does LJ feel about that?
I don't think it was handled.
Yeah, I want to get LJ in on this game. I know that ever since like the nightcap and everything. I love LJ, how he just chills. He looks so comfortable. That one chair he had that one time, he's just kicking back, doing his thing. You know that big armchair, LJ? Do you ever do shows from that? Is it that one? No. I want to get your opinion on this game because we didn't talk about this one, and I want to hear some of your stat knowledge.
Well, I'm leaning towards the Saints with the money because they played Tampa Bay. This is the division. They played them very well. Like I said, the Dallas was a bad team, so Tampa really didn't show nothing. They basically just ran the ball. Basically is what they did. They relied on Fournette to control the game, and Brady didn't make any mistakes. But the Saints have a great defensive line that could get after Tom Brady, make him erratic, make him run, and maybe cause some turnovers because Brady's known for throwing a pick when he gets in duress. So as long as Jameis Winston doesn't throw the ball to the other team or fumble or anything like that, what he was doing in the first half with Atlanta, I think they'll be in this game. So I haven't made a play on this game yet. I'm thinking about taking the under because I think it's going to be a defensive game, to be honest with you. But I like I said, I'm going to look at some more things throughout the week and make a decision on Friday. Your show's Friday, right? Yeah. I'll make a decision on Friday on what I'm going to do. But I'm leaning towards the Saints, but if I had to make a play, I'll take the under.
Yeah, I like the under in this game. I'm not betting. Just I didn't really get into it, and I hardly ever bet against Tom Brady. If I'll tell you this, anytime Tom Brady's in a Super Bowl, I'm betting him. I had a very, very large bet against the Falcons, and I went to my room crying and took a nap, and my buddy woke me up and said, "You need to come back because you're about to win the biggest bet of the year." And my bet came through, but the unders a look in this game. The Bucs defense looked good. Their offense looked absolutely anemic. And I'm not sold on the Saints. I know people are high on Jameis Winston. I know that Dutch is an FSU guy. I've never been sold on him, and I think he's goofy. So I'm probably betting the under. I'm not making an official play, but that's, in my opinion, that's the look on this game. No one's on the over, right? Obviously here.
No, I like the under too. I'm not a big under guy. Couple under, I have an under bet in on the week, and we could touch on that here before I get out of here in a moment. But I definitely, when Moose said the under stood out to me. I was looking at the under first half, but I don't want to bet under in this game. I do think it's the side. If you do want to bet on a total, I like the side though. I think it's the Saints, man. And I'm getting points. I'm getting plus money. Like, I literally love the Saints, to be honest with you. So there's no reason for me to bet a total here. But if I had to, the under definitely stood out to me when I was breaking this game down. Like you said, Dave, the Bucs defense played good. You know, the Bucs defense played outstanding, actually. The Tampa Bay offense was putrid, and they kicked a lot of field goals, and that was pretty much it. So I wasn't too impressed. Like I said, shut down Leonard Fournette. I believe they can do that. You know, I don't expect the Saints just to fucking go in there and drop 30 on them. You know, so I endorse your guys under as well. And my man LJ, man, get on them Saints, homie.
Cool. Well, you said you're on your way out. Why don't you give us that other under? I'll put you down. If it's an official play, you've bet already.
Yeah, I got the first half under 23 in the Dolphins Ravens. I like this game a lot. Both of the teams, like the Ravens gave up 3 last week against the Jets first half. The Dolphins gave up absolutely nothing. The Dolphins defense is impressive to me. I'm not sold on Tua. I broke this game down on the session. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I believe the last 6 games the Ravens have been a favorite. The game has went under. It's 7-3 last 10 overall to the under with the Ravens. 8-3 to the last 11 for the Dolphins have been under. And, you know, the Dolphins can't run the football. They're going into Baltimore. You know, the Ravens put it on cruise control last week in week 1 versus the Jets, but they really don't have any wide receivers outside of Mark Andrews. Really, what are you looking at? You know, they have okay guys, but no one who's just going to be like, wow, look at this. So the receiving core, it's pretty much Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. They're back. The running backs are beat up a little bit as well, but they're kind of just like fill in over there in Baltimore. I look for Baltimore to probably find a way to win, but I think this is going to be a grinded out, beat it out fucking football game. I do not think we'll see 20 points at halftime. So under 23 minus 110 is good money.
I like that look a lot. Go ahead.
Doug, what are your thoughts really quick on J.K. Dobbins, who's expected to come back this week?
Yeah, I mean, is he going to take a hit and get the fuck up? That's really what it is. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Like, put him back there, get him in, run the football, and run the fucking clock off. They need a running back. You look at who they're running back there. Their best running back is Lamar Jackson. He ran the ball 6 times last week. So they're waiting, obviously, to run a little bit against Miami. I think they'll have to. I expect the clock to be running very often in this game, and then to put a lot of pressure on Tua. And I'm going to bet on Tua not to fucking beat Baltimore's defense. And I don't think Baltimore is going to wow you offensively, but do enough simply. So, yeah, I like the full game under here. But shit gets crazy late, so I tend to bet unders first half, and 23 to me looks like a solid number.
It is, and Tua is garbage too. By the way, he's got 2 of the fastest. He's probably got the 2 fastest wide receivers in the NFL. Yeah, and they're with a shitty quarterback. Google Tua accuracy, and you'll see this fucking thing where he can't hit the blind side of a barn.
He's better just toss it a yard to them and go yak because that's what he's got. He's got the 2 best yak wide receivers in the league, and that's a reason because they know this motherfucker can't throw it deep, and that's really what it is. And eventually, these hits will add up on those 2 receivers. So come week 6, week 7, they might get a little tired of getting fucking hit every single 3-4 times every single time they catch the ball, because that's what happens when you catch a 2-yard out. You make a move, and then you eventually those hit add up.
Yeah, I feel you. Cool, but are you sticking around? Are you taking off? What's going on?
Go. Yeah, I'm gonna make another drink.
Cool, yeah, do it. I'm gonna bring someone else on. So it's more the merrier. So we've got our buddy Terry.
Yeah, I'll get up. Yeah, man.
Everyone's favorite.
Let's let Terry get his own screen. I'll get up.
Dutch, you're like this. This guy has.
Yeah, I'm in the garage.
Yeah, Terry in the garage.
He's rolling a J out there.
Oh, is he?
No.
Where's Terry from?
Canada.
Oh, the UK. Yeah, or not
gonna
the
bomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got him confused with Bilbo for a second there. But yeah, man, salute to you guys. I'll let you guys do your thing. My man, the brothers, Moose, always good to see you. LJ, tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Plug your shit. Go.
Yeah, Thursday night, we'll be live, right here. Pick some Dave going to come on second half. LJ going to be there vibing the fuck out with me. What we got? We got Chargers, Chiefs. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. Right here, Pub Sports Radio, at Pub Sports Radio, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then always the Daily Sesh, me and my fucking guy, Dabby Cab, Monday through Friday, 4:20 Eastern time, 1:20 right out here on the Fresh Side in Vegas. It's a beautiful thing. Come out, smoke with us like my man just came in with the bong. Hey, that's very acceptable. Pick some Dave. Always love vibing the fuck out with you. And good to see you actually vibing out with you on screen. He will be with me tomorrow, so be sure to tune the fuck in. Everyone on screen is a beautiful thing vibing with you. Moose, as always, my man, salute. It's good to see you not chugging, man. Your color's a little bit brighter tonight.
Yeah. I got the spotlight up a couple notches.
Yeah, but much love to each one of y'all, man. Everyone in the chat, you already know, man. Much love. Stay fresh.
Thanks,
All right,
man.
Dutch.
See you. All right, Terry. I'm so glad you came from the garage. That is so
That's awesome.
fucking great.
Yeah, I decided to
Why not?
decided to
now
make
that
a garage
Terry's here-
appearance.
Now that Terry's here, let's talk about the game that he's most interested in. And
Uh-oh.
obviously everyone's you're in the guest spot now. Let's go Vikings Eagles. Tell us besides being a purple people eater, why you like the Vikings.
Because they're the best team. No, I'm just kidding. No,
The best team to ever touch the face of the earth. We should bow to them. We are not worthy.
basically yes. No, the Eagles. If you're going to allow 35 points to Detroit, you should have some alarm bells with that defense. Meanwhile, Minnesota is going and allowing 9 points. I think it was 9 points. Yes, Rodgers looked horrible.
6.
Yes, he's usually bad in game one of the season. But that was still beat down on a division rival, their biggest rival. So after this, the schedule is easy. This is the test. So I'm excited for the game. I'll obviously be watching it very closely. I think Vikings win. I don't think they're going to blow out the Eagles, but I think they can win anywhere between 3 to 7 points. And Jefferson touchdown, if you're not betting
I got you. We
Jefferson
talked about
touchdown,
it on
you're
the show.
leaving money on the table.
Yeah, you're going to have that every game. I know you're going to have that every game. I
Probably,
love
yeah.
Jefferson. I reached to draft him as a rookie, and it was a good reach. And I was third pick overall, and I picked him over Cooper Kupp. I picked him over. I can't remember. I picked him third, and it worked out. LJ, you've been quiet. Did we talk? We didn't talk about Vikings Eagles yet. Are you on that game?
I was looking at it. It's pretty even to me, bro. Like, I don't really have a side to go against because, I mean, the Eagles had 10 penalties for 61 yards. That's pretty much the worst thing that they did. And as far as the Vikings, good as they played, they were 4-13 on third down. So they depend on big plays, in my opinion. First down, long plays to Jefferson, looking for Dalvin Cook in the backfield, things like that. So this is a pretty even game, but I may lean to the over first half. I think both teams will get a touchdown. Maybe one team will get a field goal 4.5. And I think that'll put you over the over first half. So I'm expecting at least 20 points in the first half. So, but as far as, picking a side, I don't see a definitive advantage. I mean, Eagles rushed for 216 yards. Vikings rushed for 126. They both had 32 pass attempts between each quarterback. They both had 39 rush attempts. The thing about the Eagles is Jalen Hurts. He's a double threat. He can pass, he can run. It just depends on what the defense is showing them. And they were 4 for 5 in the red zone. So considering they're the home team, what's the points? I don't have the points in front of me. Who's the favorite? The Eagles?
It's the Eagles -2.
-2. Yeah, that's pretty spot on, man. Field goal. Like I said, if they pull it out, they'll pull it out by a field goal at the end of the game. But I'm looking just to take a total over in the first half, just to see, because I believe it's going to be high scoring. And that would be my play if I had to, but I can't pick a side because I just think they're both evenly matched, in my opinion.
I don't disagree. I have the Eagles indexed as a 1-point favorite. I'm off this game. I'm going to look to bet it live. I'm going to find something. But let's get someone else in here. I know we all probably have opinions on this.
I mean,
go ahead.
This is the game that I want to talk about. And
Go for it.
one of the questions I had was, I remember like a really big game where Minnesota went to Philadelphia and then just got absolutely boat raced. When was that? When was that game? Oh, that's right. It was the NFC Championship game. That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, and they went into Philadelphia, and Philadelphia, if you forget, did not have a very good quarterback. They had a guy that you didn't know what to expect from him in Nick Foles, and it was a very lopsided victory. And, I mean, this was when they had Stephon Diggs, who you could argue was Justin Jefferson before Justin Jefferson.
Maybe.
And the Eagles were able to schematically take their deep threat away from them. They were able to get enough pressure on the quarterback, and there has been nothing done to the offensive line to make me think that the Eagles aren't going to be able to get pressure on Cousins. And what does Cousins hate besides winning in the playoffs? Pressure. He does not like pressure. He also does not like winning in the playoffs. You can take that to the bank.
Can I jump in there?
Go ahead. Yeah. And by the way, just so everyone knows, Terry is a diehard Vikings fan. This is why this is going to be fun. But here's the deal. I want to say this first. Everything is in good jest. We poke fun at each other's teams. That's what we do. I think both Nick and Tim take just as much shit for New York teams as Terry does for his teams. But Terry, go ahead.
Oh, the Mets are easy pickings, though.
I know. Terry, go ahead, though.
So the first thing I have to say is regarding the playoff game. 2 words, Mike Zimmer. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you looked at who the number 1 quarterback when being pressured last week was, it was Kirk Cousins. So yes, that has been a very weak spot for him for years, but not in game 1 of this year. I think the coaching is so huge in this for the Vikings. I think it's completely underrated. I think McConnell is great. I'm really happy that he's coach. But yes, Cousins has had trouble under pressure, but not in game 1 of this year. So obviously the Eagles are a different team, so we'll have to see what happens. But
hey, Moose, you
based
missed
on week
another
1.
factor too for Kirk Cousins. He doesn't like playing primetime games either.
Yeah.
And this is a Monday night game.
Well, I mean, when are the playoffs? So they were prime time.
That is true. We'll see what happens though.
It is true. I think the coach aspect of it is. I mean, granted, you are who you are. Maybe Cousins is a not like a Romo type of guy, but we'll see if the coaching change switch because Zimmer was a problem. I will agree with that.
Well, my whole
they were butting heads. They were fighting. Like they were arguing mid game. Like it's just Cousins was not. It was not a good situation.
But he's also a hothead too. We saw that back. Was it on Michigan State or the Vikings where he's going back to the locker room and he throws his helmet or yells at the press?
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington with the "you like that."
That's who it was. Yeah. Moose, you're going to say
I'm
something?
not the biggest. I'm not going to come out here and say Kirk Cousins is a top quarterback or anything like that. I wouldn't say that. Nick has his Eagles jersey on, but no, Cousins is not.
Moose, go ahead, and then Tim, you're next. Let's do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna add this point too much, but I did say it earlier. I'll repeat it now. I think Kirk Cousins was the best backup quarterback to hit his payday at the exact right time. And unfortunately, for my perspective, I never really changed my evaluation of him. I still kind of see him as a backup that really – look, he's played well at times, but if you're having a game-winning drive, there are hundreds of quarterbacks that I'd rather have over him. And, I mean, that's just throughout his career. All that aside, the thing that I was really interested in was the over here because I kind of see a situation where both teams kind of understand we really don't want our defense to have to win this game. We want to have situations where our offense is going to win this game because Minnesota can absolutely compete with probably any offense. I mean, you have to respect Dalvin Cook and their ability to run the ball. Minnesota pass protection has been, hit or miss. It's been super inconsistent over the years, but their run blocking has been pretty fucking overrated or underrated, and nobody seems to be kind of having that correct reaction to it. So I really do like the over here. This is one of those games where I was like, I really want to get talked onto this over, so I have something on that Monday night to just kind of cheer for and root for, just like I had in this last Monday night. But I also think that there has to be something said about Daniel Hunter and his return, and why I was all about that under last week with the Packers and Vikings, because he is one of the most underappreciated, underrespected defensive linemen that really should be considered one of the top 10 in the NFL.
Yeah. Tim, go ahead. You were going to try to jump in here.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the complete opposite side of Nick. I like the Vikings and I like the over. If the Lions can score 35 against the Philadelphia Eagles, what is going to happen when a fantasy football lineup in the Vikings goes up against them? Like, I can honestly see the Vikings putting up 40 plus. Like, I feel like they could probably put the over by them. So I'm not high on the Eagles. Also, I think Washington wins the division. I said that since preseason.
What?
I'm going to continue to say that.
Damn! Giants win the division. Get it right, damn it.
Beyond the point, I will be on the Vikings and I will be on the over for this game. I think that the Eagles are overrated. I'm not high on them this year. I'm not high on them. And when it comes to it, I'd rather go after the Vikings with the defense that I think that they'll be able to, not allow 38 points like the Lions did. So I think this is a good spot for the Vikings. They looked very impressive in week 1. I think they'll look good this week. I'm on the Vikings money line and the over.
I mean, hot take. What?
Tim for president. Tim for president.
All I gotta say is, I'm just wow. I'm shocked. But you know what? I had the Commanders last week.
Come on, and that's even with Dak Prescott missing 4 to 6.
Go ahead. Go. Shoot, fire back, Nick. Let's go.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be like, oh man, the Eagles gave up 35 points. Yeah, 14 of them when they were already up 17 points heading into the fourth quarter.
Doesn't matter.
When they were playing prevent defense, and yes, that's where Detroit gets most of their points. It's in the fourth quarter when the other team doesn't give a shit anymore because they're up so many points. Yeah, they made it competitive. It wasn't really that close of a game. The Eagles should have covered that game, and now they're at home, and this falls right into one of my systems as well. A team that did not cover, the Eagles, versus a team that did cover, the Vikings. That's part of my overreaction week 2 plays. Also, I think people are going to overreact to the fact that they gave up 35 points to Detroit, because almost half of those points came in the fourth quarter under prevent defense when Eagles defense was kind of taking their foot off the pedal. So this is a spot here where I kind of do like the under in this game. I can see this being one of those games like the Chargers and the Raiders where everybody's anticipating this game that goes over. There's no way this game goes under. And this game finishes, 24-21.
Yeah. I mean, counterpoint, there were some touchdowns left on the field with the Packers. I mean,
exactly.
Rodgers just talked about it repeatedly.
The first play of the game. Of the game.
There's been some drops, and his receivers have not lived up to Roger Tonian expectations.
Yeah,
Tony.
There was a rookie guy that dropped the first.
So Nick, Philly, you said Philly's defense kind of just gave up in the third quarter. Is that really a team you want to back? A team that's just the defense is just going to say, "Oh, we're okay. We got this." Like that doesn't really.
I don't see
that was a good one.
Honestly, I don't see this game being more than a double-digit point game at any point in the game, to be completely honest. I think this goes back and forth a little bit. So, no, I don't see that because, I don't see a situation where that happens. I see this as a lower-scoring game where it's competitive most of the time. So, no, there's not going to be any taking the foot off the pedal because you're going to have to keep playing defense up until the fourth quarter. Like if that Philly-Detroit game was close heading into the fourth quarter, Detroit would have seen a different type of defense and would not have scored that many points.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't like back and forth games typically go to the over?
Yeah.
Well, we
not the Bucks Cowboys game. The past Monday night. I will say
that was back and forth. That looked like back and
that's the
done.
point. It's a slow back and forth.
Yeah, that was really back and forth. That was
there can be a back and forth. Hey, you suck. Hey, I mean the Seahawks Broncos game.
Seahawks Broncos was a back and forth. You suck. Yeah. I can see something like that. I can definitely see.
Or was that a tale of two halves?
It could be too. This is the thing. This game, there are really good points, and that's why I want it when you look at Vikings Eagles, because I'm high on the Eagles. I'm all like Vikings fantasy football starting lineup. Eagles. If Jalen Hurts is on, they're gonna go ape shit. But I also see the point of there are big primetime games. You talk about the Cardinals and the Rams that do go under. I mean, that's a good look too. And there are trends to that as well. So I looked at this game and I want to bet it, but this is one of those games. It's like two good teams, like a good matchup. Most of the time, the TV games you want to watch aren't games you're betting. That's a sign of a true handicapper, because people are like, oh, like I have my grandpa who always wants to put money on a big game to watch on TV. I'm like, this isn't the game. These aren't the games that handicappers look at. We look for the trash. We look for the edge. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not what we do.
Yeah, that's why in college basketball, like Tim and I will avoid Kentucky. We'll go to these
Incarnate Word and freaking
UMKC.
Yeah, the Roots.
And South Dakota State and
Presbyterian Blue Hose. Yeah. Love
Hofstra. Yeah.
Can we talk about the other Monday night game?
Yeah, but that's why you're here, because you are a better host than me, for sure. So let's go. He hosts more shows than I do. He's experienced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He has actually like an order of things in his show. This is just a free for all fucking.
This is just let's have fun.
Titans and Bills. All right, go ahead, Terry. The floor is yours.
Well, I might be all on my own on an island with this one, but I am taking the Bills -9 and -13.5. I think they win this by 17 to 21 points. I don't think this game is close. I'm someone who's high on the Titans. I said that they win the division. I'm alone on an island with that one. I still think they can win the division because they're in a really crappy division, the worst division in football. So I still think the Titans have a chance at the division, but I don't think they have a chance at this game. This is not going to be close. Could even consider Bills 20.5. I'm not going to go that crazy.
Best friends right here.
But I'll take the -9 and -13.5, the Bills.
I don't have a play in this game. Anyone want to speak up?
I agree. I'm taking the Bills for the fact that they had 4 turnovers and still scored 31 points on the Rams.
Hell yeah, they did.
So I'm right there with them. The Titans can't run the ball. 93 yards rushing. 3 of 11 on third down, and the Bills eat that up. Like their defense is immaculate. So if they're definitely going to get pressure on Tannehill, and it's a home game, so all those factors carry to what Terry said. I'm taking the points. I'm smashing the points for the Bills.
So you like
all the Bills have to do is stop Henry, focus on Henry, and that's it. It's an easy game plan.
The reason why I might like this game. Whoa, look at this guy. Look at this nerd.
LA to the Bay.
The reason why I think the Titans are like my Niners, and they play worse against teams that play the same game they do, the run, the defense. If the Bills come out and blow the hinges off the door, they're not coming back. The Titans can't. They don't have the weapons. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree.
Titans outright.
Here we go. I know you're high.
I will say I am not high on the Titans, but I think
I love it when Terry's here.
This is going to be the biggest overreaction game of the week.
Lions already moved 3.5 points, so yeah, it has been.
Yeah, you just saw the Buffalo Bills beat the shit out of the Super Bowl champions. Then you saw the Tennessee Titans lose
to the Giants, and the Arizona game's tied up. Fuck. Anyways, yeah. You just saw them lose to the Giants. So the line moved like 3 points because it was a 7. Now it's a 10. I would expect a 10.5. Tennessee beat the Bills last year. And they had the exact same they're missing one of their big wide receivers.
Yeah, the only one.
And they're missing their best linebacker.
Yeah.
That, yes. But what I see this as is the Titans have the perfect offense to, at bare minimum, cover versus the Bills. And the way that I see it is if they run the ball enough, that's going to lower the amount of possessions that the Bills have, which lowers the chance of them covering. And they have, and I'm not high on the Titans. I'm not high on any of it. Derrick Henry is one of the better running backs in the league, and I think I'm going after the Titans plus the points and probably sprinkle on the money line.
Okay, quick question. So, oh shit, no, I just forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so Bills.
That's what doing drugs will do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bills defense is a lot better than. First of all, Bills defense improved.
They have one of the best. They're great. They're one of the most complete teams. They've got a great defense. You're right.
Bills defense is better than the Giants, so you have to keep that in mind. If Henry couldn't run against the Giants, how is he going to run against?
It's also week 1, and he didn't play anything in the preseason. So,
and he's
okay, there's that. But there's also the fact that all the Bills have to do is focus on Henry.
Correct.
That's all. Yeah, it's a very easy game plan.
It's still Derrick Henry. I mean, you can prepare for a truck, but a truck's still going to hit you.
Yeah, I mean, look. What was the running game for the Rams in Week 1? What was the running game?
Henderson.
Darrell Henderson.
Was that what we expected?
No.
Is Darrell Henderson Derrick Henry?
No.
Did Darrell Henderson still get pretty decent yard per carry?
He did decent, yeah.
So what do we expect from Derrick Henry?
A bunch of big gains.
I rest my case.
Well, Derrick Henry. Here's the thing about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is. I love most. You guys are young, but the Earl twins. But back in the day, we know what a bell cow back is.
Yeah,
the Emmett Smiths,
the Jerome Bettis,
Barry Sanders. Yeah, Jerome Bettis, Terrell Davis. We know what that Natron means for the San Diego crowd. Yeah. But the thing is that doesn't he like that doesn't exist anymore. So he's a unicorn. I think he's just so dominant and big and quick for a big guy that he might be that unicorn. But I think that type of offense is going to go away because you just need to basically. Fill the holes. Have a 3-4 defense, fill every hole, and make that fucking Tannehill, who I do not like, drop back and pass the ball. I think the schedule is, or the game plan is, for anyone facing the Titans is to stack the box and make him throw.
Every team's done that, though.
You're right, but
it's going to have Ryan Tannehill.
He's going to get pounded into oblivion. No, I agree, but here's the deal. He got hurt, and that's why. Is because they're pounding the shit out of him. And they're on the Daily Sesh, they had that you saw that where the guy came and fucking basically flat.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do. And by the way, linebackers are bigger and faster than they've ever been. So I think the Titans need to figure something else out. Not high on the Titans. Titans to win the game is crazy. Tim, good luck. I'm not betting it, but the 10 points is crazy to me. I think this game
it's way too many.
Yeah, and I haven't, in full disclosure, I haven't even bet the Titans yet, but that's the only way I'm looking, and I want to get pushed over it because
especially considering the Bills opened up at a 7. There's no way you can take the Bills at 10 when you could have gotten 7.
No, it's a horrible bet. I think. Oh no,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. The Bills are going to win, but the way the lines moved, as a capper says, it's not a good bet. I mean,
well, and the other side of it,
if I was going to take 13.5, regardless,
that's a good justification. Yes.
Then you're still getting.
I don't care if it moves to 9. I'm taking 13.5. So what is 7 to 9 really mean?
Well, then you're getting 13.5 at plus 150 instead of plus 190. Like you're getting a lot. You're not getting as good of a number, but I understand.
I'm still getting plus money for a play that I really like.
Correct.
Dave, I'd like to make Bills -9 an official play.
No. Nope.
Hey, you're going to get your official place. There's no. Hey, by the way, this is not going to happen. I don't have much order on the show, but this is going to be it. There cannot be a play that someone likes that purposely either Nick or Tim says they like the other side just to cancel it out. Because one of the rules is if they're canceling plays, we don't put it up. So I'm putting that. Terry doesn't come on very much. We're going to put it up because I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I disagreed with a lot of other plays that came up and they won. So we're going to do that. LJ, did you say what you like in this game yet or not?
Bills -10. I already took it.
Well, shit. Here we go. That's a fucking official play then. Terrell, Bills -10.
I think I am 2-0 or 3-0 on the show.
You are. You hit the Mariners that one time. That was the one. I don't know what the other bet was. Mariners was your first bet. You nailed it.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
and
this
then-
question for the panel. This is something that I've been noticing when I do my notes. Does it say a lot for your defense if your secondary is your leading tackler?
If you're facing a
Depends
running
what kind of
team,
defensive scheme. Like,
If-
what kind of defensive scheme are you talking about? Because if it's
I
Jamal
mean-
Adams, I don't have any. Like, I'm not doubting that at all. But if it's like Tyrann Mathieu, I'm like, well, what the fuck is he doing? Tackling everybody.
I mean, that just shows me that the offense is gutting you with the run game because they're getting into the second half of your defense, and if safeties and cornerbacks have to make tackles, you know what I'm saying? You're getting past the initial line.
who are you alluding to? What team?
I'm going the Titans. The leading tackler was Kenny Bird. He had 12.
Yeah.
The safety.
Well, keep in mind with the Titans game there, the Giants were down 13-0, so they had to throw the ball a lot in that second half. So that's also a way. Well, generally, if you throw a ball and the wide receiver catches it further from the line of scrimmage.
Okay. I understand that. That's a good point because Arizona, their leading tackle was in the secondary, and Patrick Mahomes was passing all on the field on that. So I get that. That's a great point.
When you throw 50 times a game, that's going to happen.
You have to look at the team they faced if they're a run first offense. You have to look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
No. That's
just my counterpoint to that is who do they face? Because if they face like Mahomes and he slings the rock 45, 50 times a game, that's going to happen.
The Titans do have a decent defense, and they got a defensive-minded coach. That's their game. The problem is if they don't keep it close, if this game gets away, the Bills cruise. That's the problem.
I think the under is the play in this game.
I don't know about what's the number.
Well, I'm going to have the under as
I'm not
well.
playing that. It's Titans or pass for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to get on.
I think if you think the Titans cover, the game goes under.
Not necessarily, because I can see Henry having like 200 yards.
48.5.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. What happens if the Bills score 35 points? I mean,
yeah. But I think if you like the Bills, the over is a good play. If you like the Titans, then they execute the game plan of being able to shove the ball down the Bills' throat with Derrick Henry and sustain 7, 8, 9-minute drives where you get 4, 5, 6 first downs running the ball, hitting third downs a few times, and then all of a sudden you're getting 3, 7 points, 9 minutes on a drive though. So if the Titans cover, it's a low-scoring game because they were able to work that to perfection where they lose a game, I don't know, 24-17, 20-10, or 2013, 2017, something along those lines.
That's right on the dot. But here's my problem with this game. I have the Bills as a 9.33.
I got them at 6.5.
Right, it's right on the dot. But that a point to 2 points when I'm looking at indexing doesn't move the needle. So then I dive in more. I mean, this is the thing. If the Bills are going to come out and get ahead early, this game's over. They cover 10 points. The problem is the Titans do have the team and the organization and the coach to keep it close. And if they keep it close, 10 points, I mean, in the first half, 10 points is a lot. Are they going to open it up all of a sudden in the second half? So this game either goes one or two ways. I mean, it's either really close or it's Bills blowout. That's what I see. And
so basically bet the first quarter and then live bet the rest of it.
But I'm even worried about the first quarter.
Yeah, just bet the live first quarter.
This is
and
a
then live bet the rest of it.
That's that's perfect. Both of these Monday night games are live betting opportunities. I think I'm not putting a play in.
I don't know. I think Minnesota Philly could be just a pre-flop over and then a live under.
A lot of people think that. I'm on a different fence post on that one.
I think it could be right in that range, like 54, 55. Like you could just be right there. And so if you get a live over at 50 or live under at 56 and a half, you're going to feel pretty damn good when that game slows down in the fourth quarter.
You know what I love? I love that Terry comes on after not coming on the show and busts out right out. He's like, I'm making this my official bet. Bills -10. Big fucking spread. Totally confident. I love that.
I'm making my official bet the Titans money line. Fuck it, let's do this.
I'm not letting you do that because
Comes out just
I knew you would do that. I respect that. And you know what? Like, we're not going to talk about NCAA, I don't think, too much today, but there are we can't but no,
Bowling
dude,
Green money
come
line.
on Fridays after you're done and don't get fucking shit ass drunk.
okay. Tell the sun not to come up.
Hey, Terry Twins, where are y'all located?
I'm in North Carolina.
Earl Twins, yeah, go ahead.
Is weed legal there?
No.
Oh,
I'm in Canada.
You want a roommate? LJ?
I mean, I get frustrated, man, because I live in a state that's not legal and everybody on screen smoking.
Well, you know what's
Oh,
crazy?
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, don't worry.
This is
We're not
nicotine.
smoking.
Oh, that's nicotine. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish I could. I smoked weed forever. My 20s were a blur for a lot of reasons, but weed doesn't. And that's just why on the sesh we talked about this in the sesh when I was on, or been on a couple times. But it does something different in my body now. It doesn't matter if it's sativa or indica. It doesn't matter. It makes me have like that heart attack type panic attacks where you're racing. It's just it affects my body differently.
I said, whoa, yeah, you don't need to smoke it then.
Yeah. But I do burn plenty of brain cells. Trust me.
What about if you ate it? It would do the same thing?
That's even worse. I'll tell you another story on the stream, and this is going to make me sound like a big fucking pussy. But I used to take. I have this really good CBD oil because I've got like joint aches and different things. Getting old and fat, that happens. I let it sit for a while, and I had the bottom, so everything settled to the bottom. And I took 3 big dropperfuls. And back in the day when LJ, you'll know this. I'm gonna kick you out. We used to buy ounces of shake, which was all they didn't take the keef out of it. So it was all the stems. This is back before legal weed. And
Yeah.
We used to grind it up and used to make butter and bake brownies and freeze them.
Whoa.
And it was concentrated. So we used to talk about edibles. This was the powerful stuff. So now they're super powerful too. But anyways, this CBD oil, I took it because it was everything came to the bottom. This is like very low THC content. I took it and I woke up in the middle of the night and I had a body high for 8 hours. Wow. And so my body became super sensitive to moose. If this is the thing, first of all, my arm's going to reach out and punch you straight from Arizona.
I'd like to see that. I'd legitimately.
I would like to see that
We
too.
can compare drug stories because I guarantee you mine beats yours. It's just my body just said, no THC. We can't do it anymore.
I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
I think alcohol does that to me because when I drink beer, I get like congested and like I think I'm allergic to something in the beer. Yeah. So
you might be what are they gluten-free type where the gluten because it's wheat. You know, you might
But when I drink liquor, I'm fine. But when I drink beer, all this is just
yeast.
So everybody's body's different, like you say. You never can tell.
You know what's awesome? Weed delivery.
No,
listen, man. Listen. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
This is on the mean streets of downtown.
Right to your door.
I have a friend in Ventura, and he'd be on the phone. Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Making my weed order.
Well, you know, weed was only. The funny thing about weed in California was back when I was smoking in 2004 or 5, everyone started getting the cards. It was the first state to be decriminalized, so you can have a card, but it was a later state to be legalized, which is completely different. If you know the difference, we can talk about it. But it's more for Dutch and cab.
I mean, here, if you get caught with less than an ounce, they don't send you to jail. They'll just write you a little ticket and you got to pay a fine. Like if you have more than like pounds, and of course they'll think you're distributing. So, but if you got a little small amount, even if it's not legal, they're not going to take you to jail for it. They'll just write you a little citation or something.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is now I live in a state in Arizona where it's legal, which is the craziest thing because before it was legal, it was never decriminalized. If you had like a gram on you, it was like a felony, and now it's legal. It's crazy.
Wow.
Because it's
All right.
Anyway.
Enough of the weed talk. Let's get back to sports.
Weed. So, this is the thing. It's open forum, and
I get it.
By the way, our viewers are going down because obviously they're not weed smokers. But that's okay. Let's Terry. What other? Since you're the guest of honor, let's go with another. And you're back in wherever the fuck that is. Oh, Minnesota. Let's talk about another game that you like. Take a game and let's talk about it. Whether we talked about it near show or whatever, because we've gone over about half the games, I think. But what's another bet you like?
And let's see how much Nick hates it.
Hold on a second.
That's no fun. I'm not.
I know you're not on the edge.
That is your best fucking thing. That is your best fucking thing. I love that thing, and I'm in the middle, and I couldn't do shit.
All right, what do you got, Terry? Bring the heat. Let's go.
Well, there's a team that I'm looking at tripling up on.
Oh fuck.
A 3-unit. First of all, we don't endorse multi-unit bets here. That gets
No. Hold on. So I would be smaller. It wouldn't be a full unit, but there's a team that I want to bet 3 things on it.
Okay.
But it's not going to be a very popular opinion.
I love it. Go for it.
Oh shit!
I already have a boner. Let's go.
You already know who it is, and you're not going to love it at all. Jacksonville first half plus 3.5. Jacksonville plus 4.5, and Jacksonville money line.
You're gonna ladder Jacksonville?
Really? I'm so against that.
What are you doing?
He's
All
going
right,
against the history of the Colts playing in
yours.
Jacksonville. I guarantee
I
it.
don't mind that at all.
Terry,
Yeah,
go
so-
ahead.
Here's the thing, though.
No. Terry has
No. Hold on. So we know. Okay, we can all agree on Jacksonville. Is pretty much the same team they've been the last 7 years.
The Colts
Obviously, they have different players, but I don't think they're a
since
much.
Brunel back in the 90s.
I don't think they're a much different team than they've been. Like, I don't think they're a worse team than they've been over the last 7 years. Well, they've won the last 7 games at home against Indianapolis. There's something to that. The Colts are extremely overrated. I think they're the most overrated team in the NFL. And Jacksonville can beat them. So I think it continues. I think they keep the game close. You're giving me plus 3.5 in the first half.
No, don't do it. Don't do
I'm
it.
going to take it. And I'm going to take it plus 4.5, and I'm going to take them on the money line because I think they win outright.
Is that the ticket for? I know what you're going to do. Well, we'll just go with who I know. I'm talking about him. Go ahead. Go for it.
I have a Colts Super Bowl ticket. I like the Jaguars plus the points.
All right, go ahead.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have the Colts number for whatever freaking reason. The Colts are gonna do their thing where they'll not cover versus the Texans. They won't cover versus Jacksonville, but you better believe they'll cover versus Kansas City, or they'll cover versus Buffalo, but they will not cover versus teams in their own division. I would be on Jacksonville for this one. That would be where I'm at. But whether or not I bet it or not, I would be more interested in Jacksonville plus the points. But I do think the Colts win this game straight up. I would not go as crazy as Terry did.
Anyone else? Let's jump in. I want to say this. Let's go back to drugs for a second. Big Show got aluminum poisoning. That is the best fucking thing. Yeah, he said he boiled the shit out of a pot, and he made some stuffing, and I guess he ate it, and then it made him. It probably fucked him up real good. So, yeah, that's like the guys that snort paint thinner and shit. Anyways, back to sports.
Yeah, I'm on the Colts. I'm on the Colts -4. The Jaguars did nothing in that first week to make me think that they've improved to any level where I wouldn't think that Jonathan Taylor is just going to be able to go up and down the field. I mean, Carson Wentz was able to pretty much do what he needed to do. There really wasn't much of a pass rush by Jacksonville. Indianapolis has a pretty decent offensive line, so I would expect Matt Ryan to at least have a little bit more. I mean, LJ said it earlier. There were times where Houston got a little bit of a pass rush, and I don't necessarily want to count that Jacksonville is going to be able to get that. But I also think that the adjustment in the second half with the Colts is what they're probably going to do a lot more of in this game, and that's just utilize Jonathan Taylor and ride him into the ground just like the Titans are doing. And I don't think that the Jaguars have – I mean, I get that they've had some success, but the Colts also haven't been that good in recent memory. So you're comparing this team to some of the worst fucking Colts teams that have ever been fielded in their Indianapolis history, not the Baltimore.
There's some really bad ones, bro, back in the 90s and shit. I mean,
in the post-Manning era. In the post-Manning era, in between Luck and Manning, they were fucking horrific. And then post-Luck, they returned to their horrificity. So I love it.
So and when you look at the Colts, when you look at the Colts, they've had 5 different starting quarterbacks in 5 different years since Luck. They had Luck, then they had Brissett, then they had Phillip Rivers, then they had Carson Wentz, now they have Matt Ryan.
That's
so
why
this team has not been the same in the last 5 years. That's why they struggle so much in week 1 is because they have a new fucking quarterback every week.
Well, here's a question. Year. Here's a question, and I'm not on the Jags, and I nailed my bet against the Jags last week, and Terry will never. He won't.
I was on Washington too.
Yeah,
I was on Washington.
That was one of my best bets. But here's the deal. Carson, talent-wise, not decision-making, talent-wise, if you put Matt Ryan's brain in Carson Wentz. And you had Matt Ryan and his talent and Carson Wentz with a brain. Who's a better quarterback? Right now,
quite a few, but I mean, I get your point.
Right now,
They're the same person.
Tom Brady, Patrick
Mahomes.
No,
I'm saying between the two, if you took Carson Wentz and you took out his bad decision, talent-wise, who's better, Matt Ryan or Carson Wentz?
I mean, Matt Ryan won an MVP, so I think that's like a low.
Matt Ryan
right now, this season.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
You guys,
if I'm looking to win this year, I'm taking Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz any day.
Matt Ryan's an old man, and we saw.
Yeah. If I'm looking to win this year, yes.
I'm saying take out. You guys didn't listen to what I said. Carson Wentz, without his the last game that the Commanders beat the Jaguars, he threw 2 interceptions back-to-back possessions and still beat the Jags. And then Lawrence threw that duck fart to close out the game. That's why I don't think he's that good. But if Carson Wentz with the brain versus Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz is way more talented. I mean, you guys are nuts.
All right, so Dave, what would be brighter, the day without a sun or the night with a half a sun?
What?
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
Say that again. Like, am I on drugs now? Like, what?
That's what I thought. I was like, what kind of fucking question? What if Carson Wentz was smarter against Matt Ryan?
I'm basically saying, this is what I was saying by that.
What if the Hulk was
Carson
an offensive
Wentz is a
lineman?
more talented?
What if Thor was a running back? What if
Carson
Spider-Man
Wentz-
was your wide receiver?
That's not the arguments that you're talking apples and oranges. Carson Wentz is a more talented quarterback than Matt Ryan today. His decision making sucks.
What if Aquaman was a referee?
All right. Anyways,
Okay, back
Who
to
else has
the whole
thoughts on this
Jacksonville thing.
who's
Hold
on?
on. One more thing to say.
What?
So, Jacksonville, like I said, 7 games in a row. Indianapolis, have they improved that much from last year?
I think so.
Because Jacksonville beat them last year. So have they really
I know they
improved?
did because I cashed a Jacksonville money line last year at
Jacksonville's
plus
so
16
bad.
dogs. I cashed them straight up.
So are they all of a sudden going to improve that much this year? You don't think Jacksonville improved at all? It's tough to tell from week 1.
The
from week 1.
The Colts almost lost to the Texans. I mean, lest we forget. I know there's that whole stat about the first game of the season they don't cover, but
And there's a stat that they lose in Jacksonville.
There's also a stat where the last 2 years, any team that played on the road the first 2 weeks, they went 8-0 against the spread in their second week. According to Ralph
saw that as well. That'll apply to the Patriots this week. That'll apply to the Colts this week. And that applies to the Buccaneers this week as well.
Is anyone else on Jacksonville?
No.
No.
I am, but
All right.
One more question for Moose. Is Captain America playing quarterback?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, of course. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's not even a clever joke. I mean, there's a lot more clever. Moose is very clever. That's very unclever. You guys are encouraging him.
Wow, you call this fucking nerd talk, and you're gonna hate on fucking Marvel?
No, I'm a DC guy.
Dave.
I'm a DC
For
guy.
shame.
No,
You need to change the name
best.
to Not So Nerd.
DC
That's
is
not
horse
about
shit.
Marvel talk.
No, Batman is the best superhero, non-superhero. You want to know why? Because he's just a human. He has tons of toys.
Batman's just a
rich and he
smoker
bones
in
a
a
lot of hot
costume.
bitches.
Fuck off.
No, Batman is the best fucking superhero ever.
No,
Uh-huh.
he's not even a freaking superhero.
Dude, that is some millennial bullshit. Get that out of here. That
He's
weird
a
fucking-
smoker in a Halloween costume.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
all he is.
All right.
I'm sorry. I have too much Groot stuff, so
I am Groot. I'm Groot.
I have my shoulder Groot. I have my lizard named Groot next to me.
You're weird. You're weird. You have stuffed animals. You're weird.
It's Groot. It's
All
not
right.
weird.
So is that an official play for Terrence?
It's
I love how
official
you
for
call
me.
him
I'm on
Terrence.
Colts. I'm on
Quit
Colts,
eating
right?
the salt and vinegar chips and let us know what you're. If this.
No,
is
I'm eating chocolate chip cookies. Milk and cookies.
Ooh, chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies.
So Jacksonville plus.
Well,
4.
no, if Moose is going to be against it, and
Is anyone
it's
have
only me and
official
Tim.
bet? I don't think anyone will have an official bet on this game. Will you?
I do. I got
Jacksonville.
Colts -4. That was like the first bet I placed.
All right. So that's going to be canceled out.
Kind of like the under.
That's what we do. We'll talk about that later because we'll move on.
I thought
I
there
have
was
more-
there was no like canceling out. Like what the hell's going on here? What?
Okay. So the rule.
I
The
feel like
rule
these
is
rules
this.
are very fluid.
If an official bet is exactly opposite the other one, we're canceling it out. We have 6 people with 3. We have 15 plays every day. It's
Yeah,
not.
but
it's
me
not-
and
Then how
Nick
did the
disagree
Bills
on
make
every
it on
single
if
play.
people can't disagree with it?
Well, there's a reason why. Is because you guys will that bet particularly. You guys were going to key in on that. Is that really? Do you really want to stand on that hill? We can't.
Titans is going to be one of our circa bets.
Well, then Terry will have no bets. How about that?
Yay! No bets for
I'm
Terry.
going to veto this. This is why I'm going to veto this because you guys are the biggest volume bettors on the show, so you're going to have
Fair.
other bets to give.
Good. That's fine. We don't have to worry about it.
Okay,
You're
okay,
just looking.
okay.
So the only
Can
picks
I
you're
give
looking
the
for.
Vikings as an official play?
Yes.
I know Nick
We'll
hates the
when
Vikings.
you leave,
and
we'll
he's
give
gonna-
official plays. All right, let's move.
Wait, hold on. So the whole criteria here is for an official play, we all have to hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
No,
Kumbaya.
not at all. Not at all. But if there are 2 people that are avidly pitted against each other, I could put them both on there, but then that's a wash. I mean,
I feel like you should just put it on there to prove, like, okay, hey, look, Terry's won like 5 times and Moose has won once. So, maybe listen to the guy that's won 5 times and not to the guy that's won once.
well, maybe you should come on here when you aren't drunk as much. That's what I think. I mean,
Why? Because I have really good ideas, like the one I just gave you, which
No,
is
no,
the
no.
one you should definitely
The
totally
point
do,
is
and I don't
this.
think you're ever going to do it, and I don't know why the fuck I just said it.
that's not a good idea. It's dumb.
It's
This
a great
is the
idea.
thing.
You're right. It's a great idea.
No, it's not. The thing is this.
Spectacular. I agree.
Ladies, you're both beautiful.
Thank you.
I can see Dave wants like the bigger. If people are going against each other, it's going to affect.
What's the point of putting it in a record when you have alternating? But here's the deal: there is no question that's there are very few rules, and that is it. Because here's the deal: if you don't have more plays to give, that's fine. But if you're adamant about it, because I've been adamant about a lot of bets that went the other way, I either didn't give them or we canceled them out. That's what we do. And by the way, we're also up 15.5 units in 3 shows. Let's not say that we're Anyway, it doesn't matter. I want to get another game going because I think we've covered most of the games that I care about. I want to hear if anyone else has a game they want to talk about.
I have one
Yeah.
because I'm like, I love winning. I went 13-2-1. I think I told you last week.
You and who was the other person that smoked it? You smoked it and someone else, not Moose. Who was it? Anyways, you smoked.
I don't know, but I'm going to concentrate on the loss that I had last week. And
Okay.
that was Arizona +6. So
Okay.
I want to talk about this Arizona and Raiders game. There's a great storyline. Chandler Jones is on the other side of the field this game. And first of all, turnovers. Arizona caused 33 turnovers last year. Well, the last 2 years, they're 12-5 in the last 17 games on the road. They had 33 turnovers in those games. Most of those turnovers came on pressure from Chandler Jones, pressuring the quarterback, getting strip sacks, making the other quarterback make bad decisions. Now he's on the other side. So my thing is this. I believe that the Raiders are going to win this game, and I believe that Kyler Murray is going to be running for his life, and possibly he might get hurt. I don't want to say it, but I think that the Raiders are going to come at him so hard because they know that the only formation that the Cardinals can play is shotgun. And once you get predictable in shotgun, it's easy to defend it. And the secondary's banged up. They don't have their corners. Derek Carr's probably going to throw for 300 yards. Devontae Adams, he had 10 receptions, 41 against the Chargers. I think he's going to have the same against Arizona. And I'm going to make a big bet on this one. I'm taking the Raiders minus the 6. What is that the number right now?
It's 5.5 when I
5.5. Okay, I'm taking that. I'm going to put a max bet on that, $200 on the Raiders minus the points over Arizona, because what Arizona showed me is that they can't keep up with a high-power offense that can pass the ball down the field. Because I'm not worried about them running, because they only had 64 yards rushing. So I know that they're not going to be able to run. They may, I don't know, but I'm just looking at the fact that the secondary is vulnerable. And Arizona played, how long were they on the field? They were on the field almost 30 minutes, man. And if your defense is on the field that long, that's easy pickings for the offense. But at the same time, they have to keep the turnovers down. The Raiders, 24 turnovers in their last 12 games. That's including the playoff game last year against the Bengals. So as long as Derek Carr does not turn the ball over, keep the ball out of harm's way. I like Josh McDaniels, the new coach. He has a high-powered offense that can get the ball down the field. And I just want to pick on Arizona, and I want my money back that they took from me last week.
Yeah, well, the Cardinals, I think they stink. And I live in Arizona, and everyone's given up on them anyways. But if anyone has any thoughts, I'm off this game because I have the Raiders.
Arizona overs.
Okay. Is that an official bet?
Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that idea too. Arizona over. I think Raiders team total over. I think the Raiders win that one by margin. Unfortunately, the line opened up 2.5, and now it's 5.5.
Line opened up at 3.5, I believe.
3.5, whatever. I think you kind of missed your line, but I still think it would cover at 5.5.
Yep, I agree.
I love the over. I took
the over too.
Virtually no secondary, no front line. I mean, it's just, and their offense is good enough that even if the Raiders get out by like 14 or 17, they can score a touchdown to keep the Raiders to score, which is exactly what the Chiefs kept on doing, because the Chiefs clearly showed that they respect the Cardinals offense enough to just keep on fucking dropping the hammer on them. So I'm going to be betting Arizona overs, just like I'm betting New Mexico State unders. There's just certain things I'm trying to latch onto and just line them up.
Did you get 51.5? Is that the number you got?
I did get 51.5, I believe.
Yep. It's down to 51-1. It's actually dropping, but that might be a situation where you want to wait to bet it if you haven't already. But
that's surprising.
Line dropping that.
It is. I mean, it opened at 52, and it's at 51.5 and 51 some places.
Yeah, well, I like it at 51. Obviously,
that's what I'm saying. Wait, I mean, this is a line where if you're dead nuts on your bet, just wait for the line. I have no point in this game. If anyone else,
Devontae Adams touchdown.
Oh,
I know it sounds like a square play, but if it's plus money, I'm smashing that.
What about Carr over 3.5 passing touchdowns? I think that could be an interesting prop.
Yeah, that's plus money, I bet, for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
I think Josh Jacobs has a decent game too, because he was their guy. I mean, as much as he didn't really do anything against the somewhat expected to be better Charger defense, I still think Josh Jacobs is extremely talented. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire scored 2 touchdowns, and they were passing. And Josh Jacobs can catch a pass out of the backfield if they decide to use him that way.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, I'm off the game. The Cards are just so, to me, they're just, Kyler Murray's such a bad decision maker.
Yeah. And I was high on Kyler Murray coming into the year. I thought he was going to get better.
It's been one game and he didn't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's why I
What
wouldn't.
does that matter if you make a? I mean, first of all, he can't see over his own lineman. He's looking at the bottom of his mask because he's so short. And the other thing is Denon Chang. And then the other thing is he does scamper really well. The problem is when he scampers, he decides to throw it instead of run it a lot of times, and that's when he makes horrible decisions. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's lost important games. Kyler Murray is in his short career has done that for sure.
Oh, his short career. I see what you did there.
I don't like the scheme of Cliff Kingsbury either, man. I don't like the formations. I mean, I don't understand. You're putting your quarterback in harm's way if you can't protect him. I understand you're vulnerable at the offensive line, but put two tight ends in. Like, protect him because like you say, he can't see over the line already, so he's going to need time. You see what I'm saying? He has to stay in that pocket and have time. If he's running out trying to make plays, that's going to get him in trouble, and that causes turnovers every single time. Now, they have Josh Jacobs at 57 and a half rushing yards. I think I'm going to jump on that.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm going to jump on that one. Seriously.
What book is that on?
This is Prize Picks.
Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, there you go.
You want to make that an official bet, or do you have other?
No, hold on. Let me look on my book, though.
No, because Prize Picks, you have to pick two players in order to do it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look on my book.
Oh, do you?
I'll look on my book right quick to see if they have it up yet.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the thing. Are props like that even out right now?
Maybe.
Doesn't DraftKings have props?
They probably do. I'm not in the NFL. I'm not a big. I'm actually not a big prop. Prop is mostly an MOB actually, which is funny that that's the sport I do props in. But it's probably
I'll hit some props every once in a while, especially if it's one like Dutch gave me last week with Marcus Mariota, and just like was talking about how every time he's been in a start, he's averaged like 40 rushing yards or whatever. And it's like the total was 23 and a half. It's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take that.
Dutch is a prop guy. I mean, he has some hot ass props. I mean,
yeah, they just got the Chiefs.
He's an NBA guy.
Up right now. They don't have the other games.
The only time I bet props is I bet Nick Castellanos to hit home runs when something bad happens.
Unfortunately, he was injured
when the Queen died.
Unfortunately, he was injured when the Queen died.
Well, Terry, tell us about how sad Canada is, because she's your queen too.
Oh God,
you're the Commonwealth of the UK. Tell us how sad you are.
I don't even know what to say.
Anything. Okay.
No. That's not the truth. No. My ancestors were murdered when England came over to Canada and took over Canada, and my native ancestors were murdered. So that was the way. I do not blame the Queen for this, but that is history.
Wait, Canada's a real country?
Yes, Tim. Canada was taken over by the white people. So, but I'm white.
White people.
So anyways, white people came over and took.
Well, speaking of
billions and 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 billions.
This is going down a bad road. I'm telling you.
I know it is.
Anyways, back to sports.
But that's why I did it.
How is this shit? How is the show not going to get in trouble for that?
Well, this is the point. This isn't an organized show. This is a shit show. All right. So,
anyways, yeah.
Any other NFL we want to talk about? We're gonna do a little bit of MLB. We'll talk about NCAA if we want to, but Dutch is gone. I've got Chris's plays. Terry, you have one play on there. Do you have another play that you like in the NFL, or two plays? Because you can do two more, or we can wait for MLB if you'd like to.
So my only play is what? What's already been approved? The Bills. Okay.
Not approved. Right.
Well, no, it's okay. You said there's no rules.
Well, there are. It's very loose here.
What about parlays?
No parlay.
No parlay.
Whoa, okay.
Well, not for official plays on the thing. So
no, hell no. We don't. I don't endorse parlay. You already, Terry. How long have I been doing your show?
What about
all
teasers?
All these rules.
Teasers are worse than parlay. All right, Terry. We're moving on from you. Is there any other NFL games that anyone wants
to talk about? I like the Chargers. But I'm going to be against everybody there too because that's just what happens.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Are you all on the Chiefs?
I'm on the under.
Most of us are on the Chiefs.
Okay.
That might be one of my official plays. I haven't decided. All right. Well, let's do NCAA real quick. We're going to do that more on Friday. I'm going to do this more for Moose because he might not be here on Friday. Do you want to add? You want to talk about any games to add to your? Right now you have Cowboys Raiders over 51. Do you have any really hot NCAA plays that you like?
Are you about to say what I think you are, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Do that first.
Go ahead.
Nevada plus the 23 and the money line at plus $14. No, I'm being serious. Iowa scored 14 points this year. Like in 2 games, they've scored 14 points.
So is that
Their
one
offense is dreadful, and I know Nevada last week lost to Incarnate Word. I really don't care. Iowa's a mess. Their offense is pathetic. I'm taking.
Yeah, they have to cover. They have to cover a 23-point spread. That's 10 safeties and a field goal.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So you're on Nevada plus what?
Nevada would be a play that we
23.
that I really like.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm not as low on Nevada as everyone else. I wondered why they lost Incarnate. That blew me away. But I was on Nevada with New Mexico. New Mexico State or New Mexico? New Mexico State.
I don't remember.
New Mexico State. Moose, go. We're doing this for you.
All right. So I'm going to go through the ones that I have not bet yet that I'm still kind of trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here. The first look I'm looking for is an Oklahoma team total over. I haven't bet this yet, but I'm kind of ready and kind of willing to pay that because I don't think that whatever happens coaching-wise is going to change the fact that they just haven't tackled.
What's the over at?
I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't even gotten posted. The first quarter is at 9.5 minus 110. I also like Oklahoma early first quarter, first half. The first quarter is minus 3.5. But I like the first half better. But again, I haven't seen anything on the 3 books that I have.
Does anyone cap this game?
I've already bet it.
Nebraska over.
Over. I got 68 for it. I got over 68. This is going to be an absolute shootout, similar to Georgia Southern, Nebraska last week. Except for I think that could put up more points. And actually, this is what line's gone the wrong way. So if you want to bet the over, now's the time to do it. 66.5 now.
I would feel more comfortable with just Oklahoma.
Huh?
I would feel way better about just isolating the Oklahoma team total over because I don't necessarily know what to expect from Oklahoma's defense versus Nebraska's offense. I mean, Northwestern did shut them down in the second half. Like they just stopped scoring. After they were able to kind of utilize the fact that the field was really pristine and really fast, and they were able to get around the edge. And then against Georgia Southern, Georgia Southern is not supposed to have anything close to a decent defense this year. Oklahoma will be the best defense they've seen. I don't have confidence in Nebraska nearly as much as I have confidence in Oklahoma to score, which is why I was looking at that Oklahoma team total over. So that's kind of why I wanted to hear more about if you thought the Oklahoma side was even the better side to take if you were trying to isolate.
Let's table this for a second.
At all.
Guys, we'll get rapid. Give me 60 seconds. Tim has to go, so give me your plays and talk about them a little bit. If we've talked about them or haven't, just give us a little explanation.
All right, so we talked about Nevada. I'll give that one out 23 and the money line. You just focus on the 23, if anything.
And you don't want to save that for the other show?
You can, but I'll just put it in now.
All right, that's fine.
I like a bunch of plays for college football. I think my favorite play in the NFL we didn't discuss. I love the Washington Commanders this week. The fact that they're plus money against the Lions is ridiculous. I'm not high on this Lions team. They had a good performance against the Eagles, but I'm not high on the Eagles either. I think Washington's able to put up points against them, and I feel like Washington could slow down the Eagles just a little bit. So I'm taking the Commanders on the money line, and then I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to blow out the Bears. I think it was an overreaction because the Bears won last week, and the Packers got beat by the Vikings and just couldn't do anything on offense. So I do like those 3 plays. I like. Are
you taking the Packers at 10 minus 10 because that's where it's at now?
10, yeah, that's fine. I think they win by 21.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming. Sleep well.
I'll be back on Friday.
Cool. Take it easy, bro.
See ya.
All right, back on Oklahoma. I don't have a play in this game. I haven't actually indexed it yet. I'm not high on Oklahoma. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
But I'm just saying I'm not high on them.
Let me see what I had this game indexed at.
I think Nick's the only one that's going to have an opinion on it because I doubt Terry does and maybe LJ does. I don't know if LJ's looked at it. But
I don't cap college football.
I don't do college.
I know. I figured that, but LJ's
my line for it to 14, so I wouldn't mind taking or laying the points with Oklahoma in this spot. My only worry is they just fired Scott Frost, so we can't use the fade Scott Frost trend, which allowed me to cash a plus 950 money line last week.
Yeah. The other one was Coastal Carolina down to minus 14.
I'm on the other side. I'm leaning Buffalo. My number for that one's 9. Buffalo's coming in off an absolutely embarrassing loss to an FCS school in Holy Cross.
Yeah.
So I can see this as a little bit of like an overreaction type of spot as well. So I'm leaning Buffalo plus 14.
Yeah, I don't see Buffalo being good this year. And I wasn't huge on Coastal Carolina, but I was thinking more first half Coastal Carolina where they've had a little bit better success than the full game. I am not impressed by Buffalo. I didn't think they were going to be good coming into the year, and they've done nothing but prove to me that they are a team that you can probably try.
They did cover against Maryland.
Yeah, but that was kind of late, wasn't it? It wasn't a backdoor cover.
Still covered, but yeah, I think so. All I remember was the final score is they covered, and they didn't hit the over that game, which I had.
Other game would be Notre Dame.
Where are you looking?
Overreaction to losing to Marshall and the fact that Cal played. I kind of feel like it's just an overreaction, and everybody's writing off Notre Dame, and it's like you guys do realize that this is still like a top 10 playoff caliber type team.
What number do you get with Notre Dame?
It went down all the way to 10.5. It's still at 11, but I haven't played it yet. These are all plays I have not made yet.
I'm looking to play Notre Dame as well. I like that angle.
I'm looking at that game too. I haven't indexed it yet. Cal.
I have it indexed at 14.5.
Cal is trash.
That's what I was thinking. But everybody's just like, oh, I like Cal. They've been playing.
Everybody
really good
loves
football.
Cal because Notre Dame lost last week.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, I'm taking that.
I need to look at the dynamic. I do follow Pac-12 football. Cal is one of the last, probably the last team.
There's a different Pac-12 team I'm looking at this week.
Well, I have to look at how the dynamic of Cal's offense and defense versus Notre Dame. But how is this not like Notre Dame minus 21 or something?
I know because they lost.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm taking this. I'm going to be trying to figure out a way to do first half Kansas State, even if it's like 8. But I don't really feel comfortable with the 14 full game because I could see a backdoor cover by Tulane, who just might be able to keep on playing even when Kansas State kind of pulls their starters. Like Tulane will leave theirs out there to get the reps in against better opponents. So I do like first quarters at -6 at plus money. I do kind of also lean that. I thought I might go like a half unit on the first quarter and then a full unit on the first half.
The line's dropping. So
is it really dropping? I'm not too surprised. Tulane's played pretty well, and
2 whole points.
Has them as a top improved team.
The full game has dropped 2 points. Let me look at the half.
Well, my index for this was 15.5. So
yeah, the full game's dropped 2 points. That the half is now at Wildcats -7.5, but it's juiced to the other side.
But no thoughts first half, first quarter.
Like I said, I've only indexed about 20 games, and that was because I did another college show. So and to be honest with you, this is not a game I'm looking at.
All right, and the only last 2 games, Dave, we already talked about it last night, but I keep on looking at it, and the 2 last games I want to talk about would be Texas versus UTSA and Texas A&M versus Miami. I keep on looking at Texas A&M, Dave. Ever since we talked about it last night, I cannot stop looking at that side, and I still think that -5 is such a fucking short number when it should probably be like a -9.5, -10.
Exactly. I have it as -9.
I don't. I have it at minus 4.86. So it's right on the money. And here's the problem. Miami is kind of one of those teams that's driven by their fans. They haven't been really good for 20 years. But Texas A&M was supposed to be such a better team. And I know App State's a giant killer, but that's scary. And their quarterback situation is, what are they doing? Like they need to.
Yeah, but Jimbo should figure that out, right? Like, shouldn't we have faith that Jimbo's going to figure it out?
Yeah, well, I guess. But I'm off that game. But I'll tell you this is the information I have to add. I capped that game right at about 5 points. And that's right where I have
it at 9.
We'll go for it.
I had it at 7.5, which is why I haven't bet it yet. Because I mean, the thing that I really was paying attention to last week was when Southern Miss got up and maintained a lead on Miami. That was kind of like, ooh, god damn, Southern Miss might be that good. And I may have been quite a bit off on Miami being a potent offense, one of the best offenses in the country. May have been a bit off on that. And now that they go to Texas A&M, which I thought was going to be one of the best defenses, and I mean, App State, it wasn't like they just got shut down and only had like a couple of big chunk plays. I mean, they were moving the ball pretty decently. I think they saw like they had almost 380 yards total offense or something like that. Somebody can find that, but I think they were over like 350, which against the Texas A&M defense that was supposed to be one of the best in the country, that's pretty damn impressive, especially when we saw teams go up against Georgia last year and struggle to get over 150, 200 total yards. So
yeah.
It's this game to me is just stay off for a lot of reasons. But
yeah. What about the Texas game, UTSA?
What's your look?
I like Texas.
I
like them first half. I really do like them because UTSA has struggled first half. Like they haven't been great. I like them first quarter, first half. Split bet.
Here's the here's the thing. And this game, is this game at Texas or UTSA?
At Texas.
It's probably a Texas spot. I think there's going to be a big emotional letdown for Texas. And granted, I'm not a Sarkisian fan. For anyone, we could talk about.
They should have beat Alabama.
Well,
if you were in there,
yeah. And I had Texas plus the points. That was one of my plays on the show.
Me too. I was all over Texas.
Yep,
they should have won that game straight up.
But the thing is this. Where's the line at? What's the line at?
11.5. 11.
Okay. That it's just scary to me because if it becomes a shootout, which I don't know how they can do that with Texas's backup quarterback, UTSA can play in a shootout. And I know that UTSA is one of these teams that's come on. You know, they're in the spotlight now, and they did well last year, and they've done pretty well this year. And Texas is still a premier spot. I mean, if you're a 5-star recruit, you're still looking at look at Arch Manning, obviously. I fear big spreads with Texas with a backup quarterback. More than
that's why first half, first quarter. What about that's the angle I'm looking at?
Is it confirmed that Ewers is out though?
He's done for the season, isn't he?
Yes.
I don't know.
I thought it was a broken collarbone.
We'll look it up. Ewers, Texas. I want to get freaking spell right. Jesus Christ.
EWERS.
Ewers cards a status uncertain. Sarkisian keeps Texas QB injury situation a mystery.
Yeah, he's not going to tell anybody anytime soon. I mean, they might be trying to see if it's like really truly broken all the way through, or if it's just like a hairline fracture or whatever it might be.
If it's a hairline fracture in your quarterback when you're moving your arm, give me a fucking break. That's going to be the most painful thing in the world.
Yeah, but if it's a pain tolerance thing, then every quarterback's going to be different on that. The thing that does worry me a little bit would be that you are now game planning with Hudson Card as your quarterback. Does Sarkisian try to do things that maybe he was trying to do without Hudson Card that now he's trying to do with Hudson Card? Like, is he going to try to do the vertical threat? Because Card could not throw a vertical ball like to save his life.
Well, then that makes me even more scared because UTSA can air the shit out of the ball.
But I don't think that's the thing, though.
If we did that same Texas defense that we did against
Alabama,
right. They're going to shut down UTSA.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that goes to the narrative of them being that they were fired the fuck up. I mean, that was that was talk about their Super Bowl, their national championship. That was
they
it.
should have won that game.
Yeah, I am.
So you're saying Ledbetter.
I'm off the game. But I'll say
I think Texas wins by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Moose, what are your official? Do you have any official NCAA football plays?
I mean, I can just tell you my card what I'm on.
Well, for the sake of the game, we do 3 plays, and I have you on 1 NFL play. I know you probably won't come on the show on Friday, or you might be blackout like last time. So give me 2 other plays, and we're gonna do MLB real quick after this. But what are your?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna dip out here, so I'll give you my NCAA, and then I'm gonna piece the fuck out. But I will tell you, I'll probably be on the Diamondbacks tomorrow versus the Padres.
Do you want to make that official?
Oh, absolutely. With Sean and I on the mound, as long as it's not a rookie pitcher.
What do you want to take?
Jameson is the projected pitcher for Arizona tomorrow.
That's the first start? I'm off of it. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm only going to do it if it was Gallen, Bumgarner, like anybody that's actually pitched in the major leagues before.
No.
Any college football plays?
All right. Let me go. New Mexico State at Wisconsin under 48. I'm thinking it's down to under 46 right now. I'd still play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the same page there, I got 46 on it.
And then Dave, you and I talked about this, and I'm glad you advised me to take it because it's down now. I'm going to give you the first quarter bet, which I also took, which I like. First quarter, Troy at App State under 12.5.
What?
Oh.
Did we talk about that?
We have not. I think that
Troy App State what?
Under 12.5 first quarter. I don't see 2 touchdowns happening first quarter. Troy's defense is absolutely legit, and I think App State started to figure things out against Texas A&M last week. And I mean, I think App State, if they're going to play tempo, that's fine, but I don't expect Troy to play tempo at all.
Cool. Well, we're gonna do more college football
Friday.
on Friday, but I want to include you because you do the show on Friday, so you can't come on.
Yeah, and also let me do the Toledo at Ohio State over.
You already have 3 plays.
Oh, that was all 3. I already gave 3. Well, we got 3.
Oh, you gave Cardinals Raiders over 51.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did do that. Oh, you're right.
Plug whatever you got a bunch of stuff to plug. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me on the live stream with Dabby Cab on Friday nights and Saturday mornings, catching some of the biggest games. This last week, we watched Texas at Alabama, or Alabama at Texas, and we watched the Louisville UCF game. We were able to catch some live lines. Everybody in the chat is having a great time. We have some checkpoints where we do some chugs and some boots. And if you don't really know what I'm talking about, you should definitely check in, find out what it is I'm talking about. We have different people on the panel come in to kind of talk about what they're looking at. Pixon Dave has been there. We had LJ on there last week, so tune on to that. And also you can find me onto the Jimmy in the Bag show in the mornings. I'll generally be there every other Wednesday until the MLB season's over, and then we'll kind of see how that starts transgresses and develops and transforms and all that kind of good stuff. But anything else, you can always find me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets.
Cool. Thanks for coming, buddy. We appreciate it. And to lead you out.
Yeah. All right, later, y'all.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. All right.
And then there are 4.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to hit any MLB plays. I haven't started capping. I'm going to look at it real quick. If anyone's on something already for tomorrow, let me know. Let's start with Terry. I'm sure Terry's on something for tomorrow.
I'm looking at the first game, but White Sox and Cleveland.
Come prepared, Terry. What the hell?
Yeah, well, you know when I'm betting the Blue Jays game.
Well, Rays money line.
Yeah, I mean, don't just give out what you're. I mean, this is about handicapping what we're doing.
Bichette over 1.5 bases.
That's been
the handicap is. He is hitting over 500 for a month or for the last 14 days.
Dante Bichette or Bo Bichette?
Both.
Yeah, Dante Bichette sitting on the couch with with bitch tits. What's what is it's
He's
over.
actually a good coach or an advisor, a coach
Is
for
he?
Toronto.
Is he a 1.5 bases over? Do
Yes.
you have? Is there a line out for that yet?
No, there won't be until
All right,
tomorrow.
we're only doing stuff that there's only the props come out tomorrow. We got to do What am I going to do? I mean, we got integrity here. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, but it's gonna cash. It cashes every single day.
It's an absolute whale
It's a
horsecock
money
lock
maker.
of the week.
All right.
You
1,000
can
unit
ask
whale
Nick
play.
about McClanahan. You're supposed to fade McClanahan down the stretch because
It's a really short card tomorrow.
Also, McClanahan's coming off an injury too.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay is close to falling out. Baltimore's catching right up to them. And Tampa Bay.
McClanahan has pitched not
games.
so great the second half versus first. I mean, granted, his ERA is still really low. By McClanahan standards, I mean, granted, his bad is other people's good. Yeah, his ERA was in the ones, and now it's in the twos. I mean, what are you going to do? And he's pitched. McClanahan has pitched. He had one game against Toronto, 1.29 ERA. He gave up 1 run, 3 hits, 7 innings. Yeah, he smoked 10 strikeouts. Are you sure you want to bet Toronto, Terry?
When was that?
I don't know. Was the first half of the season?
Yeah, when Toronto wasn't playing well. They're a completely different team right now.
Well,
as is Tampa. Tampa, I think, has lost 6 of 7 now.
That's a good point.
Well,
not a team I'd want to back.
5 out of 6, yeah.
Okay, 5 out of 6.
What do you bet? I mean, the money line's minus 140. I mean, that's a horrible number.
Yeah, I'll take the run line plus 150.
You're gonna bet Toronto run line against the
plus
Rays.
150.
There's a reason why the money line's minus 140 and the money line or the run line is plus 150. That means they think it's going to be a 1-run game.
No, it's because they're at home.
Well, they think it's going to be a 1-run game. I mean, that's the only. I mean,
it's
when you have 100,
it's a low total, and they're at home.
It's
baked into the line.
When you have a money line that is juiced, and then you have a run line for the same team that is big plus money, they're saying this is going to be a close game. That's translation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they see McClanahan and think.
Is that an official bet? Because no one's going to go against you on that one. I mean, maybe everyone will go against you, but I'll stay off
it. Who's on the other side?
McClanahan.
Gosman?
Yeah.
I'll take the Rays. I'll take the Jays -1. You can get the Jays -1 at plus 112. Split bet.
That even shows you how close that game's going to be.
I mean, if they win by 1, then I'm breaking. Then I'm
Jays
pushing.
plus -1.5 at plus 150. I'll put it in. I think that is the stay-off game of the century for me.
I don't know if I'm betting. I'll bet it, but that would be a lean for me because McClanahan's also coming off of an injury.
LJ, are you on any MLB for tomorrow?
No, I'm taking a day off.
Yeah, I might. I can't.
Tomorrow's not a bad day to take off.
I gotta do a fucking video, and I guess I could do an NFL video, but I like to do a bet for people to have action the next day.
Well, tomorrow is a football game.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus
what
on.
What am I talking
night.
about? Today's Wednesday. Fuck yeah, fuck MLB.
Chiefs.
Yeah, just do football.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we're done. Is anyone else, Terry? You have any more MLB or not? Because I'm not even looking at this anymore. I'm done.
Well, I haven't started really capping it yet, but I don't know. I think there's going to be advantages because people are saying fuck NBA or fuck MLB. People aren't paying attention to MLB right now, so I think they're
lines and odds suck right now. Suck. They're horrible.
There may be spots, but
I kind of like the White Sox -1 tomorrow.
Do you?
Lance Lynn, who has been pretty good down the stretch, taking on Hunter Gaddis, who I believe is making his first start in the last 30 days, if not first start of the year.
No, he's really bad. One start.
Yeah, 21 ERA, but he's only pitched one start. Gave up 8 runs against the Astros. So, but I would kind of lean towards maybe taking the White Sox on the -1 line.
at minus 116. I don't think that's a bad look either. That's the early game if you guys want early action.
Why wouldn't it just – yeah, this is a bad game. Lance Lynn to me is a pitcher that just – if he's – I mean, he's fine, but when he does bad, he does really bad. And he doesn't back off. He's like one of those hard-headed, like, I'm going to still try to throw it by you type of guys and get smacked.
What about the Pirates?
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding, Nick. I'm kidding.
Pirates reverse extended money line or reverse extended money line. Pirates -3 at plus 1,000.
Honestly, JT Brubaker's numbers have been better than Carrasco's, but Carrasco just came off an injury.
Brubaker was an auto fade for me for years.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, I agree. And Cookie,
knowing the Mets luck, they'll lose to the.
When I bet Cookie, he doesn't do me well. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Hey, I can give y'all a future team. Seattle. Look at their remaining schedule. The Mariners.
Yeah, they're the easiest in baseball.
Yep. Well, they're in the playoffs. So, I mean, well, right now they're in the playoffs. So
yeah, it's crazy. The teams that they're playing, they have an average -44
I think they'll get the number one a wild card spot most likely.
Terry, on your show, there were four teams that I talked about being second half teams, and one of them was in the playoffs, which was the Jays, and they've been kind of shaky. But the other three teams, the Guardians, who jumped out, the Cardinals, who jumped out. They're both second half teams. The other one was the Mariners. If J-Rod came back, and he did, and all of those teams are playoff teams. I am a genius. That's what this show's about. I am a genius.
Yeah, that's what the whole show's about, is to worship Dave and how much.
All 2 people that are watching. 13 people are watching this, but it is what it is. Let's get off any MLB plays because I have. We'll see what Kelly likes. Mikolas. I was on Mikolas early in the season. I don't know. He wears his heart in his sleeve too much. Jays and Rays under tomorrow, maybe that could be a good.
That could be an interesting play. The under, especially seeing that's an early game,
and they're good pitchers. I mean,
307. Yeah, it's a 307 game, so you're probably gonna get first 5 under 3.5. I don't hate that.
Tim, you only get three official plays. Did I even put them in here? I did. No, Tim, you don't get 4. That's for everyone. Everyone who want to bet the Aces. We don't deal with high school girls basketball. Okay?
It's the WNBA finals, and if the Aces win tomorrow, they win the whole thing and they sweep the Sun.
Which they probably will.
Yeah. LJ does WNBA too. I don't do that.
I just do Candace Parker. That's all the person I
Yeah.
That's the only person I've bet on.
Is she the best WNBA player of all time? Because there's a bunch of them.
I wouldn't go all time. Because you have Cynthia Cooper, you got Sue Bird, you got Tarazi,
right?
you got a lot. But right now, currently, yes, she's the best in the league right now. Currently, hands down.
Yeah,
she's a walking double.
Maybe one of the best college players ever. Who Reggie Miller's? She played for US. Reggie Miller's
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Miller.
She scored like 100 points in a game, didn't she?
Yeah, she was a beast. She used to whip his ass, they said.
And then Brittany Griner, but her situation.
Yeah, man, free Brittany, man.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Griner thing on ESPN is kind of like the Johnny Depp saga on every other channel. I'm saying about it. But what the fuck? Fuck Russia. That's all I gotta say. Right. All the stupid Russians that put their comments in all of our stuff. You know what? Hack my shit. Fuck you.
For legal reasons, Earl Sportsbet does not affiliate with Dave here on these comments.
You know what?
Russians, we love you if you are listening. All right, cool. We're good now.
Well, they kept
Vladimir, don't come for me.
Well, I love Russians. I don't like the Russian government. Let's say that.
I like Kirill Kaprizov.
I like Ilya Sorokin.
I guess I got to.
Dave's like, who are these people?
I got to curb my enthusiasm. All right, we're off MLB. I don't have any MLB bets for tomorrow. There's football. Any more football we want to talk about? Let's just go to official bets because I've got LJ only has one. Nick
Which
has
one was that?
Raiders.
Okay, you could put Kansas City tomorrow.
Okay, so that's one of us was going to do it. I think -4 or 4.5 is the best. We'll look at it right now.
Yeah, we'll look at it. I don't know where it's at right now. I had 3.5 early, as soon as it came out.
I caught it at 3.5 too. I bet it. It's you can get a 4. Actually, at TwinSpire, which is crazy. How is it at 3? I don't trust that book. I know it's on covers, but I'm going to go with 4 because it's come back down to 4, which kind of is a little scary, but we'll put it at 4.
They'll win by a touchdown. Easy.
I think so too. I have them capped at over a touchdown.
Yeah, they're easy.
Chargers money line.
So I get one more for Sunday. I get one more.
You get one more. Yep. For the show, whatever you want to do.
So it don't have to be football.
It can be whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me look at the MLB on Friday right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, we can do that. Friday's too far for me to think about for MLB. Terry, you've got what do you got? You got 2 plays. You got the Bills -10. We talked about at nauseum, and the Jays -1.5 at +150. Anything else that has an actual odds to it? Not a.
Wow, with all these rules. No, I'm kidding. I'll take.
All right,
Vikings
next time I'm on
money
your
line.
show, you wait and see. I'll give you all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I know one. I'll take the Mariners Friday against the Angels. Robbie Ray.
Are the odds have to
I was going to say, are the odds even up for Friday?
The odds have to be out.
My bad.
Yeah, you kind of need to know what the lines are.
No.
You're right. My fault. I'm jumping the gun.
That's not a bad look for sure. But
I'll be
okay,
looking at
well,
a
I'll just stick to football. Let me throw another football one out there. Hold on.
yeah, what's your look? But Terry, anything else? I mean, you got to have something else. You know,
Vikings money line is my best bet on my show. So
did we disagree? Are people on
Nick
people on the
doesn't
Eagles?
like it.
I'll prefer the under over that.
Here's the deal.
You can let him put it out. That's fine.
Everyone's going to be. No one's
hammer
gonna
poop.
agree.
Hammer poop. Here's the thing.
Like I don't
It's
agree
gotta
with the
be-
Chiefs.
We can't put bets that oppose each other because then that's a wash or a middle. We could get fucked and you know.
Why did somebody put
Eagles? Yeah, a hammer poop had Eagles.
Huh.
You can cancel it out if you really feel confident about it, but just beware that there has to be some sort of rule for that because then this show could be a complete push every time. I mean,
Yeah, I get that.
there's a lot of sports out there.
Well, it is
Y'all
one
want
of
to
my
hear some
most
crazy?
confident
Y'all want to hear a
players.
crazy
I love
stat?
it. Crazy.
The Giants have a winning record for the first time since 2016.
Yep. You know what they did in 2016, right?
What's your Super Bowl, right?
They went to the playoffs.
Playoffs. Oh yeah, that's right. They did.
Yeah, last time they went to the Super Bowl was 2011-12 season,
Okay,
where
yeah.
for the second time Eli Manning made Tom Brady his bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I'll make this official, man. Broncos over the Texans.
Love
Can
it.
I put that one on there?
Love it.
I'm just looking real quick. No.
Yeah. There you go. I'll fade my team.
Good luck.
Broncos
Respect there.
minus
Respect.
10. No,
Yep.
I'm all about betting against my team. In fact, I'm thinking about betting against them with the Seahawks.
Hey,
It's not going to be a play on the show, but
I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be mad.
all right. We'll go with Nick because Terry doesn't have anything else, I guess.
Well, I'm not able. Everything I want. I can't give out anything, so I'll stick with what I want.
Well,
No,
what do you mean you can't give out anything? You can't give out bets that don't have odds, Terry. Like that's the point. Like how am I gonna grade it?
Oh, I feel you, Nathan
Otherwise, I'm
Cerner.
against everybody. I'm against
Yeah.
everybody in NFL, so it's going to be tough for me
The
to give out
Astros screwed
NFL
me
plays.
today too on the run line. I lost $100 on them boys today, and they won the game. I lost money
I
that
hit the
they
first
won.
500 in that game. That's what I was on.
Yeah, I was gonna take. I took the team total too and lost that one. So I was. But you know what was crazy today that won that money back for me? Dylan Cease, bro. He needed 8 strikeouts. He had 5 going into the bottom of the 5th. He had a man on with no outs. Right? He struck out 3 in a row and got the 8, bro. And
Wow,
cashed that
buddy.
prop.
There you go.
For real, he's a beast. Like Cease is a monster. Like for real.
This
Cash me in.
freaking Dodgers Diamondbacks game, we're gonna lose in extra innings. I'm sure.
What is it? What is
Top-
it?
2-2.
2-2.
Top
My
of the
my
eighth.
-1's not looking great.
Oh
No,
shit.
the money line first 5 pushed. I have full game money line. I put a unit and a half on it.
Yeah, I took the first 5 too. I guess I pushed too because I took their Diamondbacks.
I didn't bet the first 5. I know you did. That's why I said it.
Yeah,
But
I blindly bet that.
I was under. I would have never thought. But anyways, okay, Nick. Let's talk about games you like. What do we like?
Yeah, I don't think anyone disagreed with this one, so I'm gonna go up. I'll go ahead and put Matthew Stafford and the Rams at -10.5.
against the Falcons.
Yep.
Okay.
We
talked about the game, but
that's going to be a circa play for Tim and I.
Really?
Yep.
Good luck. Not that I don't like the bet, but in contest plays with big spreads, you got to. I mean, you're confident, so that's good. I like that.
I am. Trying to find other plays that. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if anyone disagreed with this or not, but I'm going to give out the over 44 Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
Let me say this about disagreeing. It's not about disagreeing. It's about having an official play on one side or another. We can disagree.
All right. Nobody gave an official play on the under in New Orleans. I'm going to take the over.
They
over
did
44.
So TBNO under.
I saw, yeah. Over 44. I saw New Orleans offense start to cook a little bit last week. I like Jameis Winston. I like the weapons he has a little bit. Chris Olave and Michael Thomas, I think, are going to be able to get some yards, some touchdowns, stuff like that. And then Tom Brady, his weapons are way too good for him just to settle for field goals a bunch again. I don't think he really cared about that first game because, well, that was another game where I think Tom Brady was one of the unicorns this week that didn't play in the preseason and still won. Yeah. So I think that he can get some he can put up some points without those weapons around him. So I'm going to take the over 44 there. I lean towards the Buccaneers, but I know everybody else likes the Saints here. But at 2.5, you can only bet the Bucs, I think, at this point, because my line for this one was actually 4.5. I want nothing to do with the side, though, in that one, because it's just my trends point one way, my power rankings point another. Did anyone give out the Seattle Seahawks officially?
No, but
Dave was thinking about it.
I was thinking about it. So you go for it. Go for it.
Give me the Niners minus 8.5.
Okay. It's not at 8.5 anymore. I can tell you that.
It is on my book. I can get Niners 8.5.
What
on my
book?
Bet online. 8.5 at minus 120. I'm staring at it right now. If I wanted to, I can bet it.
I wish I could use more books. Shit.
You can use Bet Online in Texas.
I can?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
absolutely, you can.
Oh, shit.
That's what I
in
use
North Carolina. It's not legal here.
When I go to California, I use Bet Online. That's my number one book when I go to Bet.
It's a great book. I've been on it for barely, and I only just signed up for it this month. So
I've been on it for years. I played poker on it. I have in the past.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me poker's available on this. That's why I moved away.
In fact, PSR is going to do their poker tournament on Bet Online, I think.
Hold on, man.
Okay, yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I moved away from Bovada because I kept playing their poker at night, and I wanted to not do that anymore. Because that would be a really good way for me to have a nice profitable day in sports betting and give it all back in poker. So,
what's funny is for years I was the other way around. I played poker a lot more than I've been a capper, but now it's I don't even care about it. And plus the games aren't that good on there anyways. All right, so I'm gonna have 3 plays. I'm gonna have the Browns, whatever they're at, minus 6, and it's darting back up and forth, so you can still get it at minus 6. So I have the Browns minus 6. Everything on the Browns is better than the Jets.
Yep.
The Jets are horrible. I don't care about the narrative with Deshaun Watson. I don't care about people saying Brissett isn't bad. Brissett's perfectly fine, especially against the Jets. And if the Browns can beat the Panthers, then the Browns can beat the Jets. I'm not worried about that's going to be one of my circle plays. I'm
trying to talk Tim onto that one too.
Yeah. I'm on the Steelers plus 2. Pats are – I thought they were going to be better. They just don't look good. They're going to struggle. Mac Jones might not be the guy I thought he was. I thought maybe – there could still be a drop back quarterback, Peyton Manning type that doesn't run. I'm on the Steelers, and I don't give a shit about Watt being out. Najee Harris kind of is a question mark, but
yeah, he says he's going to play, but
even still, a Steelers at home too. Give me the Steelers, and then the other play is the Lions team total over 24. I don't like Goff. I like DeAndre Swift. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown went to USC, and I like the coach. even though he's a defensive coach, isn't he?
Campbell? Yeah. And the thing with that play is the Lions can get absolutely dominated and he can still cash.
Exactly.
Actually, if you in order for that play to cash, hope the Washington football team, Washington Commanders, go up 10, 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they'll get it in garbage time.
Because Detroit doesn't give up, bro. They don't give up.
They don't. They're garbage time kings, and they gave the Eagles all they could eat, and the Eagles are a good team this year, I think.
Even last year, it took a 60-yard field goal for Justin Tucker to beat them. So they're good, man, on ATS for real.
Yeah, Eagles over 24.
They're not a team I want to bet against when they're dogs. The Lions for sure, especially getting at least over a field goal.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah, stay away from online blackjack. I'll tell you that. That's horrible. Big Show, what are you doing? Thanks for coming by, Big Show. Appreciate it. Thanks for the chat. Rise above anything. I'm a Jojo Rabbit, who is obviously a superhero. He broke his collarbone, and he said something in the chat about how it didn't affect him. Nathan Cerna.
A lot of the ESB crew here.
I was going to say these are all guys. Kelly came by. Thanks for everything, for everyone that came by. We're going to post these plays. I'm going to post them at the end of the week. I'm going to combine them with the Friday show. It's too hard to put on Twitter different tweets and all that shit. And thanks for everyone that's coming out. Let's plug whatever we want to plug. We'll start with Terry. Go ahead, my friend.
Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, Sunday to Monday, different times. Doing shows every day, multiple ones. Tomorrow's show will be early. I'm going to probably do it at 2 p.m. So, Dave, if you're free an hour earlier.
What day?
Tomorrow?
When? What are we talking
about?
Yeah, tomorrow's good.
It'll be an hour. The show is going to be an hour earlier.
Why are you doing that?
Because
there's a couple of baseball games starting early, including his versus Blue Jays.
I can do it. I'm going to have one. I'm going to have maybe one pick, but I have plenty to talk about with baseball. I just might not have any plays. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, we'll be talking mostly about the football game, and even though I'm against everybody, but we'll be talking about it, and then we'll talk about baseball too. But getting Wild with Terry and Friends every day.
Cool. LJ, you got stuff to plug.
Yes, sir. Y'all can follow me at LJ at H-Town, LJ Sports Media on Twitter. Follow me on Pub Sports. I will be live capping with Dutch tomorrow night for the Chargers and Chiefs game. So tune in to that tomorrow. And, of course, I'll be back on Friday, Pixel Day, making the weekend plays, talking this shit, shooting this shit, all that type of stuff. And, of course, on Sunday, Jimmy the Bag. I will be on making my picks, putting my analysis out, and cashing checks. So, man, I love it. This is the best time of the year, man. Football's back, and it's time to get some money. So, follow me, Twitter, at LJ Sports Media.
Sweet. Thanks, buddy. Go ahead. You got plenty of stuff to plug, too, Nick.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Let's Go Wild Picks. I do. We have the ESP show every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single day. We go over baseball. On the weekends, we go over college football and NFL, just because it would take way too long if we put baseball in with college basketball, with college football, and with NFL, it would take like 3 hours, those shows. And then every single Monday through Friday, Tim and I do a show with Detroit Lenny over on Picks and Parlays, Game Time Decision. And then, we do shows a lot with Terry here and with Dave. So I'm everywhere at this moment, just creating content. So you can find me also on Twitter at Nicholas_Earl. But that's it. Yeah.
Cool, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll be here Wednesdays and Fridays. Are you doing first half, LJ, tomorrow for Dutch's show?
Oh yeah. First
half. Are you coming on right away?
Oh yeah, I'll be the whole game probably.
Well, really cool. I'm coming on second half. We'll be Pub Sports Radio, definitely friends of the show. Earl Sports Bets, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. LJ Raw Talk.
Raw Words podcast.
Raw Words. He's got his own podcast. That's the point, guys. We want to get as many people out here. I know some of us are on big places like picks and parlays. Others of us are just starting, but we're all cappers. We've capped for years. That's really the point. We're wading through all the bullshit that you see on Twitter and everything else, and we're coming at you. We're capping in front of your face, which no one else is really doing, having a good time, drinking, smoking, eating, doing whatever we want. So hanging out in the garage with Terry.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace.
Peace.